it's yours, but still in me. I cannot detox from this condition, conviction. You're inside my misery box. I'm still never free from this addiction, affliction. Now it's yours, but still in me. Cannot detox from this condition, conviction. You're inside my misery box. I don't deserve you. You stay true. I want to save you from my misery. You couldn't save me from my misery. I'm addicted to my misery box. Addicted to my misery box.
And a good morning, best chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to this episode of delicious morning nonsense chat. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. We have some few things to go over today, some things to laugh at today, more things to laugh at today, and some fun stuff to go over before tomorrow, chat. Because as you know, tomorrow is morning nonsense, none other than Weeb Day. Weeb Day. I'm going over some new anime. Well, new to me, new to me. There was some. I started watching. What was it called? Sentenced to be Hero. Surprisingly, pretty good. I quite like that one. The only thing that I found odd was that they're called heroes. If you ever wanted to see anime fantasy Suicide Squad, that's kind of what it is. That's kind of what it is. Like Isekai fantasy anime Suicide Squad. That's pretty much it. They even have the whole if you disregard us, if you disregard your orders, we'll blow up your head kind of thing. Pretty interesting stuff. Check it out, chat. Check it out tomorrow. Let's see. Color Pieces says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Good morning to Colors Batista. Hello to Hetzelbaum says, morning, folks. Hollywood is stupid. Always has been. The difference now is on clear display for everyone to see. Thanks, Elon. Yeah, the whole thing with Twitter being bought by Elon was a real game changer. Because we could only guess at things before. Yeah, we kind of get it, but we can't really see what's going on. But now there's a huge platform that people they're so desperately trying to get rid of by setting up things like Blue Sky or something. But people, tons and tons of people are still using Twitter, like tons and tons of people. I think it hit record heights recently. In fact, and it's neutral and it's exposing all this stuff, and and the most detrimental thing to the I guess the hidden regime, I guess you could say, the leftists essentially, is that people who are on the center and the right are allowed to talk and express their opinions, and they're complaining because that now it's like because there's a space on the internet in which the right-wing people and centrists are allowed to talk and express themselves without just automatically being banned, without the rules being against them. They're complaining that people are kind of flocking more to center and right-wing people. Center and right-wing influences as opposed to just 90% all left-wing people. And like, obviously Elon Musk is pushing the algorithm. Like, no, this is kind of what happens when you have an actual free market of exchange of ideas. Pretty interesting results. Gorilla Mar says, good morning, everyone. Don't forget to get your workouts in today. Absolutely, Gorilla Mar. Hello to Board Legion says, good morning, LD and Best Chat. Happy Thursday. Hello to Board Legion. Hello to you, Living Offenses. Praise be to LD, Best Chat, and of course, Space King. Found a Trojan on one of my computers. I removed it, and I don't think they got anything, but now I have to change some pins and check something else. Enjoy. Oh, that sucks. But at least you caught it. Well done, Little Fence says, let's see here. John says, good morning. All had to miss yesterday's stream, but you're putting up with me today. Blah. Also, Hollywood getting stupid is because everyone there is listening to the wrong people. Yeah, they kind of it's like the same thing they video game people get, like with Sweet Baby Inc. That whole controversy, and how they like a long time ago, how they're like, oh yeah, we brought on Anita Sarkeesian to consult on making video games better for the rest of us, which is what happened with Neil Druckmann, I think, and The Last of Us. He consulted like a super ultra feminist, anti-man, anti-male feminist, and the result was The Last of Us Part 2. Let's see, Logic Mart says, same way every leftist became stupid, they locked themselves in their echo chambers and treated all dissent from as fascism and heresy. Yeah. Now they're surprised as what the hell is how come this is okay to say? And obviously Elon Musk is doing some weird algorithm pushing, and it can't just be that it's a free exchange of ideas instead of every single online place being pro-leftist. Shocker. Shocker. There's a lot of people that don't agree with him, and it's a lot of people too that don't agree with him. In fact, it's probably most people that don't agree with crazy psycho leftist types in America. It's and with my favorite part about the Japanese thing is that they also hate psycho leftists in America. Everyone hates psycho leftists in America. It's Kick Rush is us. Good morning on the stream. Hello to you, hello to you. There's a reason they're called heroes. If you saw the latest episode, you know why. I haven't finished it yet. I'm going to finish it today, or at least what's current on Crunchyroll. I'm going to finish it today. But it's been pretty fun so far. I didn't think it'd be that cool. It kind of started off a little generic to me, but it kind of grows on you if you kind of pay attention. Also, I like the characters, I like the development of the characters. I think it's not some edgelord nonsense where it's just like he's just a bad guy. No, he's a good guy. He's like the goodest of people. He just kind of was conspired against by, I guess, the church. That's what it seemed like. And so that's kind of interesting. So it's not like the Suicide Squad where they're just all bad guys, except for Ratcatcher 2, obviously. It's one of those moments where this guy looks kind of evil, he's kind of angry, it's justified, and all that stuff. So yeah, it's surprisingly caught on to me. So I do like it. I do like it a little bit. Let's see. Dr. Christmas says, I'd like to point out they also ship Pomni with Gummy Croc that you'd laugh at when he got yeet. People, yeah, I know that now because Stu sent me a comic. Stu sent me like some comic with Pomni and Gummy Croc, and it was like Pomni and Gummy Croc had just got done kissing, and then it was like, ha, surprise, gotcha. Gummy Croc was the ringleader guy the entire time, the guy with the teeth. But yeah, if we get, by the way, speaking of amazing digital circus, if we get $154 more by the end of tomorrow's show, we will have more amazing digital circus on an extra stream, likely this weekend on Twitch. Pretty cool. First time around, got done with the first 3 episodes. It's actually a pretty impressive show. Pretty impressive, I'd say. Way smarter, I'd say, and way classier than Has Been Hotel. Absolutely. Janine Schultz says, good morning. I discovered a new manga called Agents of the Four Seasons, written by the same author of Violet. Oh, that should be kind of interesting. Very cool. Very cool. Book column. Hello to you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Hello to you. Jeremy Jones says, Isekai Anime Suicide Squad could be a Japanese title. It could be. But they decided to call it instead Sentenced to be a Hero. Limp Bizkit says, good morning, LD and chat. Good morning to Limp Bizkit. Hello to Reverend R says, good evening, Lister Devil and Beastly Chads. Well, good morning to Reverend R. Ikitran says, Litap, Elon is not running Twitter. Yeah, it's an underling. But he kind of set the guidelines before he kind of left the role CEO. They kind of set the guidelines. Now he's left it in the hands of like a woman who used to be part of the World Economic Forum, but seems to be doing all right still, as far as I can tell, because he still sets the rules. Liberal, good thing for the coffee. Megathon says, good morning, LD and Beshad. I Megathon, the Warcraft Encyclopedia, is here to keep record of the record straight if needed. Fantastic, Megathon. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Oh, wait, I forgot. Let me make Megathon. We're going to see here. Here we go. Let's see here. Change chat mode live. There we go. Megathon is now a mod. There we go. It's been a long time since I dubbed someone a mod, but there we go. Thank you much, Megathon. Very nice. Says good morning, best chat. I've been reading Invincible and it's good. See, yeah, me too. I actually have the first couple of volumes. At least the first volume, I think. I think I might have the first two, but I mean, one volume of Invincible is a lot. It's like 1,000 something pages. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. It's just it's way different than the show. It's way less edgy. It's more hopeful and positive, in the beginning at least. Mark confesses to Amber that he is invincible, and she listens to the story and comforts him. It's very different. It's really different. It's like, oh my goodness, that's awesome. You're invincible. That's good, because in the comic, people react normally to finding out that your friend is a superhero. I think he actually confessed that to his best friend as well. I think he confessed to his best friend as well. And then his best friend is like, "Oh, that's awesome." And the show, the show was made during the cynical era, like him confessing to people that he's a superhero has to be like, "Oh, you didn't tell me." Like when they discover, like, "I can't believe you lied to me. I can't believe you didn't tell me." And they have to get angry, and that's kind of what Amber does too, right? Infamously, I would say famously, but infamously, that's what Amber does, right? That's what Amber does. Like, yeah, I knew you were a superhero. You didn't come to my soup kitchen bullshit. So what? You're risking your life and getting the crap beaten out of you to save innocent people. You didn't come to my soup kitchen. It's like, really? So yeah, in the comic, Amber's like, "Whoa, you're a superhero? That's awesome." His best friend's like, "Oh, you're a superhero? That's awesome." That's how you actually are supposed to react to that. In reality, it wouldn't be like, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't tell me." I'm pretty sure the best friend, like, I understand what you didn't tell me. In fact, are you sure it's okay to tell me now? Like, I'm pretty sure, like, a guy best friend would understand that. And Amber understood that because that's awesome. And that, hey, they probably understood that, hey, you're putting your life on the line. And you're doing all of this for no pay. You're just being a good person. It should be admirable to be a good person. In fact, I would say that if his best friend reacted that way, like, "Oh, I can't believe you didn't tell me." If Amber acted that way, I'm pretty sure those are the people that he should just cut from his life. Because, man, who reacts that way to finding out that your boyfriend or your friend is a superhero? But in the comics, it's correct. They got it, normal. They got it well done. Well done. And see, Logic Meister. Hello to you, Logic Meister. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Lady Fastlot says, "Good morning, LD on the best chat. First episode of Observation Log is out." And oh yeah, is that the one where the guy observes being a villainous? It's following the manga. Also found a fun video with Iroh and Optimus Prime chatting. Channel literally life lessons. Sounds pretty cool to me. Ajibutaku says, anyone got a link to the Twitch channel? I think it might be in the description below. I think it might be. Let me see. Music, and yes, it is in the description. It's right under my Streamlabs link, actually. So there we go. Let's see. And Inch McVim, hello to you. Good morning, Aldine Best Chat. And hello to you, Dr. Crow, Dr. Crow, Dr. Crow. Good morning, Aldine Best Chat. Working hard with a new artist, an all-American Red Squirrel. We're now ahead of schedule, and we'll start having pages done later this month. Fantastic. Well, sounds pretty cool. Sounds pretty cool. All right, Dr. Crow. And all right, Chad, we see the $54 more, I believe, and boom, we'll unlock another session of Amazing Digital Circus. Stu will probably join us too, but nevertheless, if he does not join us, we'll watch at least 3 episodes of Amazing Digital Circus. All right, Chad, we got some fun stuff for today. One video I found kind of interesting, and it's called "Critical Drinker Fixes Supergirl." I want to see how this goes. It's called, well, the full title is Critical Drinker Fixes Supergirl, How Not to Tank Your Movie. Let's see what he has to do here. Let's see what advice he has for these people. Check it out. Hello to you, Mad. Skirt, what's Gucci My Ninjas? Hello to you, Mad. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Greggy Nani says, you mean the compendium? Yes, exactly. I don't have the Ultimate collection, but Mark's friend was dating Eve and asked him, and later Eve to fly him in the air. They both said that he was gay. Fantastic. But yeah, it really is a compendium. They're huge, huge volumes. Anyway, Chet, we got a guest in the back room. Let's see if this could possibly be. Who could this possibly be, Chet? Guess.
What's Gucci, my ninjas, bro? At a tat tat tat, the bro, pretorious, the bro, pretorious. LADPHD, we've all adjust. I'm a beast, you better check. I'm flipping the script, redefining the monomyth. Emblematic of greatness. What's Gucci, my ninjas, bro? At a tat tat tat, the bro, pretorious, the bro, pretorious. LADPHD, we've all adjust. Much is most smooth as ever. Main character vibe. The YouTuber's YouTuber. The whole chat subscribe. Baby!
And welcome, Mad.
What's Gucci, my ninjas? You know, I sent you a short one for when Stu's not here with us.
I like the long one.
All right, fine, forget it.
I like them long, Mad, and girthy.
Chad, I gotta ask Chad something. Is he like this when I'm not here,
Yeah.
or do I bring this out of him? That's
Well, I mean, I had to honor you in some way when you came on the stream.
I get
It's
that. Yeah, immediately start talking about dicks. That's me.
immediately, like just no time. Time is money. As a little offense is the intro makes LD look like a Johan Vasquez.
I mean, canonically, LD is black.
That is true now, I guess.
Dude, I don't know. I didn't even see what topics you're going to talk about today, but I want to talk about that shit show Daredevil. It is so bad.
I
Have you watched
quit
any of
watching
it?
it. I didn't watch it.
Oh,
I think I watched the first couple episodes. I wasn't. I was okay with it, I think, but it just didn't really catch my interest.
dude, they have no idea how the government works at the city, state, or federal level. They have no idea how law enforcement works. It's written with this message, but it's written by kids who want to be grown up.
Yeah,
Who
because
want-
the Kingpin is like the mayor or something, right? So they would have to
Yes.
know all this stuff.
Oh, it's so dumb, bro. It's like that. No, that wouldn't happen, dude. It's written by immature people who want to seem like they're grown up because they'll throw in f bombs, but like that's not. It just doesn't fit. It's there to be there rather than it fitting the character and or like the situation that is occurring in. It's just so bad, bro. And all the love it gets on fucking Twitter drives me insane. They're like, oh, this is peak Marvel.
They always say
Fuck
that.
off.
But the peak just means new now to
Yeah.
me. Whenever they say it's peak, oh, I guess it just came out. That's all it is. Like everything new is peak. That's it. That's all it means. And it used to mean, oh, this is like the greatest thing ever. It used to mean that, but because no one knows what good is on Twitter or whatever, it's just they go off of just emotion, and it's like, oh, this made me feel really good. It's just peak Marvel. We'll go back and rewatch it. Go back
Bro,
and watch and see how that goes.
they didn't even know what they have no idea how boxing works because Mayor Fisk or whatever fight. First of all, Mayor Fisk never been in a professional fight ever. The guy he's going against isn't a tomato can, bro. He was 32-2, and Fisk is like,
That's
I don't need
insane.
a mouthpiece. He's not gonna lay a hand on me, and then proceeds to beat the shit out. Dude, no, fuck off. I don't care how strong this guy is. There's no way that a professional champion fucking boxer with a record of 30-2 is not going to be able to do anything.
Yeah, I don't know if they've ever been in a fight. Probably not. I'm guessing
No,
not.
of
Quite
course
as like
not.
pampered people. But I got a black belt in kickboxing. You don't get that by not fighting, or you have to be in a few bouts. I fought my teacher a few times. Man, if you even at a black belt level, you're gonna get hit. I mean, because people are going to like it looks. I guess it looks like it's dodgeable in the in the outside looking in, but when you're actually fighting the guy, dodging like a really fast punch is tough. Like you block it, you can dodge it. That's why Muhammad Ali was such an insane level athlete. I mean, he's because he's over there dodging, bobbing and weaving. That's pretty tough to do.
And he was doing it in the heavyweight, the heavyweight class, which is he was smaller, of course, but the speed that he brought to that weight class it had never been seen before. And a lot of it about the dodging or deflecting or whatever isn't about seeing the punch coming in
Well, like
and being
instant.
able. Well, it's that you know it's coming. You got to study movement, feet, shoulders, everything, head movement, and then
It
there's
takes a lot of
traps.
experience.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
because boxers will set up traps, right? They'll show you like a stab, like a stab jab to the stomach. There, and then they're gonna fake it and then come up top. And it's all about setting it up for the next thing.
And you have a split second to catch it. You have a split second
Yeah.
to see what they're going to do, split second to react. It's tough. It's tough. So I could see, Wilson Fisk doing a pretty good job against the guy, but I don't see him like just not being
He
punched.
the guy that he was fighting got one punch in, and it was only because Fisk got distracted.
I guess I don't know what the history of Fisk is. I know he's supposed to be like really awesome and powerful, but that's pretty insane.
I didn't think he had like Thor level fucking strength though. Fucker, come on, he hit, dude. His punches were like being hit by mirror.
That's pretty tough. That guy probably died then. Let's see.
Kara
Kara says,
kind of did.
I still feel a bit rough today, but I still and sit and watch. Fantastic. Welcome, Kara. Hope you feel better. But welcome. Very nice. I never saw the good Daredevil series. Why should I watch the bad one? I don't see the point. The original one was pretty good.
It was fine. I think it's
That's pretty good.
overhyped. It's not as good as.
It
to
wasn't
me.
mind blowing,
No.
but it was pretty fun to watch. Let's
Yeah.
see. But you made this in time, Matt. I don't know if you planned this or not, but you made this in time. You see, we're going to be going over Critical Drinker today, your favorite
Oh,
YouTuber.
come on. No, you did. This is what you had planned.
You made
I
a
love
video
him. He's
called
great, man. I
the-
just don't want it to get spoiled for me later. When I watch it.
Is it a video about how to fix Supergirl? He's gonna the drinker fixes Supergirl, how not to tank your movie. So we're gonna see what advice he has to give as a
You know,
movie
the
maker himself.
The best part of Critical Drinker is that he's able to do something that complex in under 15 minutes or whatever it is for him to have 2 ad breaks.
And it's pretty impressive.
That is impressive.
Let's see. If the first 3 seasons were entertaining, yes, I think so. The ones for the original Netflix one, and then he showed up in She-Hulk for some reason, and no one talks about that anymore.
No one
She-Hulk
talks about
or his
She-Hulk.
appearance. Let's see.
All these controversies and bad press swirling around James Gunn's Supergirl, not by James Gunn, got me thinking to myself, surely there must have been a better way to do this. Surely the mega minds at DC could have found a way to introduce this movie to the public in a way that would win people over and get them excited instead of turning them away. And so I asked myself, what could I have done differently if I was in charge?
I would have
Could
changed
the
it from
drinker
Supergirl to Superman. That would have been my first change, but go on.
And see. Like, hold on.
in a way that would win people over and get them excited instead of turning them away. And so
For a second there, I was like, is this the drinker? Is he just drunk on the street eating food? Because he kind of looks like this a little
Oh
bit.
yeah,
Like if he shaved.
kind of look like him. Yeah. How long
He
is
shaved
this
a little bit?
video? Out of curiosity.
12 hours.
You fuck. Is it 12 minutes? I'm not looking at that monitor.
It's 12 minutes.
Oh,
I
okay,
asked
so-
myself, what could I have done differently if I was in charge? Could the drinker, in fact, have
LG Chronic Control says, more late than best chat. Running late because work shenanigans. What's good? What's the good drink today? Well, the drinker fixes Supergirl, and it's going to show us how not to tank your movie, which is a pretty valuable information to know.
fixed Supergirl? I mean, I know this series is more about rewriting existing movies than
Roach.
This
Yeah, there we
is-
go.
This is he has a series on this on how to fix the movies in under 15 minutes.
I usually takes. I would think it would take a little longer, but
Just to explain your ideas, yeah, and why.
Yeah.
You did that. Yeah.
it's because this is not. There's no She-Hulk show, not anymore. But there's this awful Mean Girls Lawyer Edition. That was cringe. That was like a cultural hallmark of like, here's how women write female lawyers. They're twerking and being ridiculous, and here's how men write female lawyers. And like
Yeah.
they're really cool.
managing PR campaigns, but hey, I can be flexible. And really, it touches on the same issues that a lot of movies experience these days, so why not use it as a learning experience for all of us? Ready? Too bad, I'm going in anyway.
By the way,
Now, the
it's
first and most
difficult to know how
important
to
thing they should have
fix-
done with this
Is it?
Is I feel like it's a little difficult to know how to fix a movie you haven't seen yet.
Yeah, it's. I guess that we're going by the trailer. Is it out yet? Is Supergirl even out?
No, it's not.
I didn't think so.
So then this should be how to
Movie-
fix the Supergirl trailer.
That's what it seems like, I guess, because it's not out yet. Unless you got like an advanced copy or like got to see it early.
Was
Oh,
to
yeah, he's definitely
understand
on
their
the list of,
market.
we're gonna let him see it early. We want to hear his positive fucking.
Well, he's on the news, so I mean, they might one guy be like, oh, you know what? Let's do that. He's
Yeah.
he's been the news recently as a guy that Dungeon called Carl hates. That's got him in the news recently again. Let's see.
And not just what it wants, but how big it even is anymore. And this is where I have to deliver some unpleasant truths, dear viewer. They're not going to taste very good, but just like Tatiana, you will swallow them. And in the end, you'll thank
what?
me. I mean,
I don't
she
get the
never
joke.
has, though. Truth number one is
What
that
the fuck
superhero
is
movies
that
in
new?
general just aren't very popular anymore.
When did he
I've
start doing
already
that
talked
shit?
about
This video, I guess.
superhero fatigue, oversaturation of the market, and the general decline of audience interest ad nauseum in other videos, so I'm not going to bore you with the whole argument again here. Instead, I'll just point to the MCU's box office returns as an example. In the 7 years from 2012 until 2019, the MCU had a total of 9 movies that grossed over $1 billion each. In the 7 years since then, you know how many they've managed? 2, and both of those films relied heavily on nostalgia to get arses in seats.
Also, Deadpool Wolverine was like complete opposite of woke. It was just awesome.
Now that's bad enough.
They had a female like Lex Luthor, not Lex Luthor. What's his name? Professor X. They like I guess like a female version of Professor X as a villain, and she lost to 2 men. That's not very woke.
What you talking about?
But
Deadpool
shall I
and
hit you-
Wolverine?
Yeah, Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah.
That was a fun movie.
With another harsh
Ah.
truth, well,
As long as you don't spend more than 5 minutes thinking about it. I enjoyed it at the theater, man. Fucking, they hit NSYNC. I'm in. I'm up. I'm doing. I know the choreography for "It's Gonna Be Me." No
My
cap.
favorite part is where Deadpool leans in and goes, "Till you're 90," because it's true. You know, it's true. Like you're
Yeah,
never
but
escaping this.
A-
Hugh
As
Jackman.
soon as you sit down with like to think about that movie, you're like, oh boy, that was not good, huh?
Well, fortunately for me, I watched the movie and I haven't thought about it really once since then, and so it's been pretty good to me.
well, I don't care if you're ready. I'm doing it anyway. Female-led superhero.
Oh, is his twin sister? Like I knew it was like a Professor X stand-in or a twin sister or something like that. See, I told you I haven't really thought about it since I've seen it. I just found it entertaining when I saw it, but I never heard of her before either. So, like, was that new? I'm not really sure.
Hero movies
Let's see, is that the sister?
don't tend to make money.
Because I assume they just made her up because everyone knew everyone has a sister. No one can have a son; they can only have daughters. Everyone has a sister. Everyone has a daughter. Even Galactus has a freaking daughter. Like no one can have a son. Not one. I don't think one person has a son. And there's something in the water over there at Marvel. I gotta just I've not watched the Marvel movies since Deadpool. Before that was Thor and the Iron Man movies. The first Thor and Iron Man movies. Iron Man movies are pretty cool. I like the first Iron Man movie. That was fun. Thor, I like quite a bit. I like Captain America. Back when everything was fun and not woke. You know, that's
And men were directing it and writing it.
yeah, it was like action oriented and not humor oriented. Way better.
Hey, don't hate me for telling inconvenient truths. And don't just take my word for it either. The numbers speak for themselves. In the past decade, there's been 9 major female-led superhero movies in theater.
Oh man, I just watched Birds of Prey. And that's awful.
I couldn't get through the
Awful.
first 5 minutes. Birds
Birds of Prey was I was determined to watch it in one setting, but no, I had to chop it up. It was just that bad. I had to chop it up with two streams because it was just that bad. The Marvels pretty bad too. That was nonsensical, but Birds of Prey was just cringe. Like every frame a cringe. That's kind of what Birds of Prey was.
And of those 9, only 3 have actually managed to turn.
Black Widow was hilariously cringe. It was really
It
bad.
was so funny, bro.
It was, but it's really funny how cringe it was. Yeah.
Yes.
Birds of Prey was just frustrating. The Marvels was kind of meh. It was just kind of like, I guess it's cringe. It's just kind of slop. Like, here's your gray slop, sir.
Yeah.
Black Widow was pretty funny in terms of how cringe it was.
I mean,
Awful movie.
dude. They should have died so many times.
Every line was written. I could just tell, like every line was written as if the writer was expecting us to just be falling out of our seats laughing. Like every quip, every exchange, it was pretty. And then the main bad guy is like some angry man baby. Like this doesn't seem like a spy, like a spy master to me. It just seems like an angry man baby. What the hell? And she just basically calls him like an incel. Like, you're an
Yeah.
incel. That's why you have to control women.
Dude, what I love is when they have those they did it with No Way Home or whatever the last Spider-Man movie was. Whenever there's a moment that they know the crowd is gonna pop, they'll take a break, like no one's gonna talk, and almost like a sitcom would with a laugh track. You would wait for the audience to stop laughing before you continue the dialogue. My
Right.
favorite is when they have that moment, but no one does when it's
But
silent.
no one laughed.
Nobody says shit. That's
No one
funny.
laughed.
No.
No one said anything. That person says that Cassandra Nova is technically an alien who was in the womb of Charles's mother, whom he tried to unalive with the umbilical cord, and was written by Garth Ennis. Oh, Garth Ennis. Oh, that sounds cool. I want to see that one. All right, I like Garth Ennis.
A Prophet, Captain Marvel, Wakanda Forever, and Wonder Woman.
Who watched Wakanda Forever? Come on.
I did.
That means only 1 in 3 female-led superhero movies from the past decade have actually succeeded. And out of those 3,
Yeah, because we want to see men do action stuff. We really want to see women do action stuff, technically, like in general, because we don't really want to see women get hurt as much. It's not as fun
Yeah.
seeing women get hurt.
It's like when Battlefield added chicks, right? They would all be crying as they're dying on the battlefield, and it's very uncomfortable.
It's not as fun. All right, it's not as fun watching women get hurt. Hearing women get hurt. It's fun seeing men be men and be Chad and take bullets and fight bad guys. That's fun. All right. As Mad would agree with me in that John Wick is a really cool example of this, where he's falling from like 4 stories onto cars. That's fun to watch. Rolling downstairs, peak.
Tanking a fucking Volkswagen, hitting him at 30, 45 miles an hour. But don't
That's
worry,
the problem.
he has a bulletproof vest.
Explains everything.
Suit.
Rolling downstairs, all that stuff, falling from the Continental. That's fun to watch. It wouldn't really be as fun seeing a woman do it. I know that because they made a woman version, which is the ballerina. And I did like it, but it wasn't nearly as fun. And this is how I discovered why it's not as fun. I thought about why it's not as fun watching her go through all this stuff. Well, first of all, she does not have the power of John Wick. John Wick can throw dudes around because he kind of he's like 7 to 8 feet tall. So he's just towering over everybody. I can believe that he has all this power to throw people around. And it's not as fun watching a girl get beaten up. It's just not. It's not nearly as fun. Hearing her get hurt, watching her get hurt, I was like, no, I don't really like this as much. It's just it's not as cool.
Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel both came out before the decline of superhero movies in general, and both of those crashed out.
It wasn't Garth Ennis? Oh, he would have done such a great job. That seems like a Garth Ennis setup where Charles Xavier is trying to strangle his sister in the womb with an umbilical cord. That is definitely a Garth Ennis thing. I can see that being the case because he goes pretty crazy with some of the storylines. That's why I like him so much.
Disastrous sequels that brought in 80% less than their predecessors. The only film to buck the trend here is Wakanda Forever, which ported a female character in to replace the male lead of the previous film after the actor.
Yep, they do that. So everyone has a daughter, everyone has a sister, and all the men get replaced by women. That's going to kind of 3 tenets of modern day Marvel, and it gets really, really, really boring. Because it's just because they change it too, because women write it, and it's not really as action oriented. It's like, Mad, did you know this? There's this one storyline, right, where it's a bunch of the female characters. It's like Wasp and who cares? But Wasp is the main one. She has a bomb in her head, right, and it's going to go off. And she gets all of her friends together, all of her girly friends together, and to try to solve the situation. Now, how do you think that should be written? Bomb on your best friend's head. It's ticking down.
Right.
Sounds pretty intense, right? It's written. You think it would be written like this is intense. We need to go to like a bunker or something like that. We need to go to a place where it's like we got machines and X-rays and bomb squads or something like that. But instead, They go to a house and have a sleepover. It's just written like a sleepover.
What?
Like they
There's
have
a
like pillow
bomb in her
fights.
fucking head. Don't hit her with a pillow.
Just- it's like just having a good old time, just having a sleepover, get some cocoa, talking about
What
well, not
movie is
boys, 'cause
this?
it was a comic book storyline from a long time ago. I think in I think it was Wasp or something. The new Wasp, because even though the original Wasp was a woman, they can't really have her being that old. So it's not only just every character's now a girl. It has to be like a teenage girl. Is why they replaced Tony Stark with a little black girl who's a teenager.
Riri.
Yeah, Riri Williams.
Yeah.
So everyone's a
Riri?
teenager now. So not only is everyone a girl, everyone's a teenager now.
Cool, bro.
It's
That's what
the-
everybody wants.
Everyone's what everyone wants to see. Yeah, this replaced all the Chad dudes with some wispy teenager girls. That's what everyone wanted. So we got even Captain Marvel. They replaced Captain Marvel with Kamala Khan, another teenage girl.
Well, no, she's
see.
Miss Marvel.
Yeah, they took her original title. I mean, Captain Marvel was still kind of there, but they added in Kamala Khan as a Miss Marvel instead of the Captain Marvel, and it's just a tire to it. Let's see. Nora Man, they just find the short says I can fix Supergirl faster than Drinker. I kind of like the Supergirl actually. I want to be honest with you.
It's gonna be tough to beat my fix. I said change the girl to man.
Just all of a sudden, Dick just appears out of nowhere. I guess that would be pre 2026, huh? It's like she is Supergirl, and then she reveals she has a dick. It's here is how you do it. You do not make it. I guess it's true. See, Alex Haley's fighter chat says Misaka's fight with a rank 4 Esper is great in a Railgun season 2 LD. I gotta get back to that. It is pretty awesome. Especially because it's like 3 anime kind of this. They take place in the same city, but they're different main characters. And see, a Mega Spidey-Man says, hello there to all. What's your favorite film or game from your birth year and why? Would you ever go on open bar? Absolutely. It was pretty fun.
I'd think about it. I would, what's the compensation for my time though? You know what I mean?
You get to be on open bar.
No, I'll go on as long as he has never seen me on here.
Why? You always say you respect him and you have nothing good things to say.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
see.
yeah. Definitely let him know.
But I don't know what I have to figure out like what things came out in my birth year, like what movie, because the movies and or game. That's I'm pretty sure there's quite a few things.
That's weird because I didn't watch a lot of movies when I was, under 1 years old. So you would think, you know what I mean? I don't. That's kind of weird.
I guess I'll check it out. I got to look into it a little bit. Let's see.
Passed away in real life, it's kind of hard to gauge the merits of this film on its own because in some ways it was coasting on the massive success of the first Black Panther movie, although I would point out that it made 500 million less at the box office. All of this is a long-winded way of saying that female-led superhero movies have a pretty spotty success rate, especially
They could make a really good female-led superhero movie. They have to have them struggle though. They can't. They keep making them this win and be awesome and not really go through many trials and tribulations. They go through like the motions of a conflict, but don't really go through an actual conflict.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of like if you look at a movie that's 4 men led by a man, he goes through hell. But in the MCU, the if it's a female main character, she kind of just gets off easy. Gets handed things. She gets pretty much easy victories. They don't really go through all that much trouble compared to what she should be going through. And it's emotion and social based as opposed to physical and spiritual based. So they can have a female character lead the way in a superhero film, but they have to write it correctly. That was the main thing. They keep writing it like she's supposed to be in a romance novel or something.
or that, or like they're like no, they're just gonna do exactly everything that a guy would do.
Yeah. Well, they think a guy would do like because the feminist writers they hate men, right? But they hate their idea of men. Like they got handed power. They're arrogant. They're incompetent. They're aggro all the time. They're just crude human beings. That's kind of their idea of men, and that's kind of what they turn their female characters kind of into. And that's why they're kind of unlikable. Let's see. Let's see, Chad. Arnazaro says Luke Cage is objectively better than Black Panther, hence why I didn't see the sequel at all. You mean the show? I kind of like Luke Cage show.
It was
It was
fine.
yeah, exactly. It was fine. I thought it was pretty all right.
I think it's a lot like what happened with the prequels, right? The Disney sequels were so bad, people found a new appreciation for the prequels. And I think that's what we're looking at with the Netflix versus the Disney.
I know I did.
Yeah.
I found some brand new appreciation for the for the prequel. Like, oh, you know what? Perhaps I judged you too harshly. I know how bad that pit can go. It's like Brother Mars says, I don't have a game offhand, but movie from a birth year that I love is Who Framed Roger Rabbit. I do like that movie. I read the
That
book.
was creepy as shit, bro. As for a
I read the
kid,
original book. The original book is really funny.
yeah.
It's a
And
really good detective story too.
LD and I, we're from the generation where parents did not care what you watched as long as there wasn't boobs in it.
Even then, I got to watch Braveheart. That's boobs in it.
Well, I told you
A little
about Jerry
bit.
Maguire, right? That they had some type
Oh
of
yeah.
edited out the sex scene and put in a cartoon.
I put on a little cartoon.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute. It's Spiker Spider-Man's I don't mean only if you watched it in the year you were born. I was curious what your favorite game or film would be because of the sheer range that might have been out. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Like 90s is pretty cool for creativity.
Well, wouldn't the range just be the year?
I would guess like yeah, like 1990. What came out in 1990? Some of that. So because if I was born in 1990, the obvious answer is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Oh, that was awesome. That's a pretty good one. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was a phenomenon when I was growing up. Like that was like a whole era, a whole phase. That and Mortal Kombat. It was like where everyone loved ninjas and fighting games. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So it was a perfect combination when they came out with like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles fighting game, which is pretty fun too.
You know
But
what's a great
my
ninja
third
movie?
which one?
New York Ninja. It's fantastic.
Let's see. That does sound familiar to me. I don't think I've seen it.
So great.
I've seen American Ninja. I've ever seen that one.
Wait, that's the one with the dude with the long hair?
I think was it Jean-Claude Van Damme? Or was that something else?
No. He was never in a ninja movie.
Let's see. I feel like he should have been. Kazi Dreamer says at least the prequels knew that they wanted what they wanted to do. The prequels were a little bit different than the original, like the original trilogy. They kind of went a different direction. I mean, it could be a little bit. You can have your judgments, but the sequels have a lot of power because they have a lot more, I guess, gravitas or a little bit more. At least they tricked a bunch of people into thinking they were good because they just copied the original trilogy. Like Force Awakens is like, okay, how about A New Hope again, but Luke is a girl now. That's kind of what they did, and it's way worse. Like it's way worse. We just kind of suck the soul out of A New Hope, place Luke with the girl. Boom, movie time. Got our first movie for the new sequel for the new trilogy. Where the prequel trilogy was, you could say the choices were questionable. You can have your opinions. It's all right, but he did go in a new direction. He didn't really try to exact one for one copy the original trilogy like most people probably would do. Show how Anakin became Darth Vader and followed the Jedi. I didn't like what he did with the Jedi though. I kind of wanted the Jedi to be heroes still, but they get like, oh yeah, they're bloated, fat, and corrupted. All right, thanks, George.
By the way, if Chad doesn't get this shit closer, we can go to one of my videos I have. I have one where from Screen Crush where they're talking about how bad Yoda was and how great the Acolyte show was.
What?
Yeah.
That can't be. No one liked the Acolyte
I'll
show.
put the link in the private chat.
No one liked that show. Right? If they
Oh.
did, it's like have you seen Princess Bride? It's like anyone saying so is just pretending or trying to sell you something. That's it. Anyone who's saying that they like the Acolyte show is just trying to sell you something.
The title is Acolyte 2. Wait, sorry. Acolyte 2 scrapped plot blames Yoda for the Empire. And they have all these examples of how he's done it before.
That's a lot
Hilarious.
to put on Yoda's shoulders. This
It is.
so now Yoda is responsible for the downfall of the Republic. He's responsible for the downfall of the Jedi, and he's responsible for the rise of the Empire. There's a lot to put on one guy.
Actually, in recent years. Then there's name recognition to think about. See, Superman himself is about as ubiquitous as any fictional character can possibly be. You could pick almost any human being on the face of the earth, from a goat herder in Peru to an izakaya owner in Japan. Show them a picture of Superman and they'll probably know exactly who he is. He's had endless comics, movies, TV shows, cartoons, and merchandise made about him for almost 100 years now. He may be one of the single most marketable characters ever created. Well, apart from this fucking thing at least. Supergirl, though? Nah, not so much. Especially in the world of film and TV,
Oh,
which is
shit.
what we're talking about here. Her
I
first
want
and
popularity. Who do I talk to?
Supergirl, I guess.
No. Burned cool onto whatever.
Oh,
cool.
yeah, here we go. So one popularity by viewers in Stream Boot. Whoa, that's insane. I want to see this. Let's see. And then Alex Halo, the $5 super chat. Thank you very much. At least Naruto had a son and daughter, and a daughter too. Now, if only they made it a better anime. That is, isn't 90% filler. And didn't someone say that Boruto, they kind of just adapted all the filler for some reason instead of the actual story? It's kind of an odd choice. Let's see. And Megalithon, they said $10 super chat. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate it. Let's see your chat. Megalithon says the prequel are not great movies, but the bones are there. And then it kind of felt like after watching it again, the prequels kind of felt like they needed more drafts. We got first draft or something like that because the bones are there. They just need to connect better and shave off some of the fat and everything.
And yeah, it would have been great if you brought in somebody that knew how to write people like human beings. But
yeah, some people who have met people before.
he's great with droid dialogue.
He's really good at
You know what I mean?
robots.
Yeah, it's just
He's
one
really
of
good
the
at-
people.
He's really good at writing robots. They feel pretty real, but people, on the other hand, let's see. The fact that we have spent years just tweeting what it could have been. The sequels, well, all we can do is burn down and forget it happened. Yeah, the sequels are really interesting because they're really good examples of what not to do with first movies, and second of all, what not to do with a trilogy, because that was just horribly done. Even they would have to admit it was horribly done because it was like, okay, J.J. Abrams, then Ryan Johnson said, fuck you, and said, no, I'm doing my own thing. And then J.J. Abrams had to come in to fix what Ryan Johnson did.
I mean, sure he did, but he also was like, also, I'm gonna twist that knife just a little bit more. What?
Yeah.
Of course, they have to have GPS to know which way is up.
Which was really hilarious. That was a plot point. And he's like, you know what? I have all this money to spend. How about, oh yeah, the main plot is that the Emperor is alive and there's an army. He's like an armada of like infinite Star Destroyers. Oh yeah, by the way, they each have a Death Star gun. All right.
But
don't ask where he gets all the men to man this stuff.
To me, The Last Jedi felt like it was a different written movie that he just applied a coat of paint of Star Wars on it. And
Yeah,
you
it
see
was
that a lot
another
in
movie
the
he wanted
MCU now,
to
too.
make. Yeah, he
Yeah.
wanted to make another movie, but oh wait, you know what? I got Star Wars instead. Fortunately, they pushed him off to make crappy Knives Out movies. So,
Bro,
fortunately, he's been over. He's crowded over there instead of plaguing Star Wars anymore. Let's see. Agile Advark says Jedi should have been in elaborate armor, not tattooing desert robes. Yeah, I would say so, because the robes that Obi-Wan was wearing was that was like his desert robes. That wasn't supposed to be the actual attire of a Jedi, because that'd be retarded. Like, he's supposed to be in hiding, right? So he changed his name to Ben Kenobi, which I
Yeah,
guess is still kind of retarded. It's kind of like saying this, like,
And
oh, yes,
he hid Luke on the planet that his father is from.
yeah, and then he
Never gonna
dresses like a
look there.
Jedi and stuff. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yes, my name is Ben Hitler. I'm not this Adolf guy. Who's this Adolf guy? I'm Ben Hitler.
I'm actually from Ireland. Clover.
Sir, you're dressed in like a military uniform. Oh yeah, just coincidence.
Yes, this is the uniform of the IRA.
Part of a different terrorist organization.
Yeah.
I'm Ben Hitler. Okay, Adolf Hitler's some other guy. I'm Ben Hitler,
Yeah.
not
Oh, I
Adolf.
hate that guy so much.
I'm never not a big fan. Not a big fan.
By the way,
Oh
Chad,
yeah,
for any super chat, $10 and up, you can pick either one of us, and we'll read in whatever accent you want.
yeah. At least we'll give it a good try.
Sure.
Let's see.
Don't fucking do the double thing where you want to do an accent, but with the cadence of somebody. Don't be like, oh, let me hear a Canadian Arnold Schwarzenegger. I'm not doing that.
That's a $20 super chat.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I do it for 20.
Exactly. But there we go. By the way, in on More Nonsense, it's canonical that any Middle Eastern state used to be run by the Roman Empire is Italian. That's the canonical accent of that area.
Yeah.
Let's see. Not Tatooine desert robes, not trade agreement silliness. Yeah. The trade agreements was a harsh opener for something that's supposed to be accessible to kids. I mean, it's who cares about trade agreements?
Yeah, juxtapose it with Jar Jar. Like, wait, who is this movie for?
Like, trade agreements and trade routes and taxes. Also, Jar Jar's there.
Misa invest in the 4K. 401k. Misa diversifying my portfolio.
And
Go on.
someone pointed out really a funny point about the prequels that if Watto had just accepted Republic credits, a lot of this stuff would have been avoided, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, then we could just pay for it and get out of here.
Also, they could have bet on the race itself and won enough money to, I don't know, free his mom.
Nah, it's dumb. It's kind of the same thing with Harry Potter. Like, he needs a little bit of hell in his life. You know what I mean? Might as well separate from his mom.
Right. Yeah, she was
Let's see.
holding him back.
So far, only big screen outing was the disastrous 1984 movie. God bless Helen Slater, though. She tried her little heart out with that one. And while the TV show from a few years ago had some fans on the CW, it was hardly a global success. One failed
know it
movie from
existed.
40 years ago and a mildly successful TV show don't exactly launch a character into the public consciousness. Now,
That's-
all of this is
hold
relevant
on.
because Superman,
See?
Hold on. That doesn't matter though. Like, just because it didn't set it up for this to be successful. Okay, great movies, good movies don't have to rely on a previous movie to be great. Guardians of
No,
the
they're
Galaxy is
doing their
probably
own.
the best example, right? Nobody knew who the fuck these characters were, but it was a well-made movie.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. And then I even like Creature Commandos. So that was pretty fun too. I like GI Robot. I thought GI Robot was going to be cringe because he's like, oh, I hate Nazis, but they turned out to be pretty fun. Let's see, Wolfsbane, thanks for the 10 cheers and just the 10 cheers. Thank you very much, Wolfsbane. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
based around a far more popular and well-known character in the movie that was supposed to relaunch an entirely new universe of DC on film, barely scraped its way to $600 million last year. That is not a good result, no matter how people try to spin it, and realistically, it's probably as good as it's going to get for DC now. I think it's safe to say that Supergirl is going to make less than that did.
I like Superman movie, but I think it's probably too much. There's probably too much stuff in there for like a general audience because you had a lot of elements. You had a lot of plates that are spinning. You have wars. You have interdimensional like pockets and whatever. You had the Justice League. You had Lex Luthor's various plots. You had a Superman clone in there.
I
you
feel
had
like
so much.
Yeah, I feel like you started Lex when he's at a level 10. You know what I mean? We hop in and the sixth Superman movie was what it felt like because he has pocket dimensions. Motherfucker, you start at pocket dimension? Is there not a lower level you could have came in at?
I mean, it's pretty fun, but I think it's just too much already for a first movie, for a first Superman movie, like to reboot the whole franchise stuff. So Point of Superman didn't come out to get strongly. Why in the fuck Superhero? I don't know. To me, it's kind of like why Star Trek Academy is getting a second season. Kind of like they ordered it because they ordered 2 seasons. So no matter what happened with season 1, they're going to get a second season.
Yes, yeah, and they were already well into production on Supergirl before Superman ever came out.
Right. And I kind of like this spin on Supergirl a little bit. I kind of like this version a little bit. I'm willing to give it a shot.
Yeah, she doesn't bother
Uh,
me.
the only thing that I am worried about is that this story was adapted by a story written by Tom King, who's the only person in the world who I believe is actually trans. I'm pretty sure that is a woman trapped in a man's body. If you ever hear him speak, it's crazy. But anyway, it's a
It's just a question of how much. The reality is that regardless of its creative merits, and that's debatable right now, a movie like Supergirl is weak. It's a lame duck. The only way it can succeed is by using what I call the Captain Marvel doctrine, riding the momentum of a strong and successful franchise and convincing audiences they just have to see this film if they want to understand the big overarching story. Now, that worked great for Marvel back in 2019, but sadly, it's not 2019 anymore, and this ain't Marvel. It would have made infinitely more sense to give the heavy hitters like Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman their own solo movies, team them up for a money-spinning Justice League crossover, and then start...
let's see. What's my name? It says Twitch stole my cheer, but anyway, Matt still think Cooper Flag is boring. The boy dropped 51 and 45 points back to back. I don't know who that is or what sport this is, but that sounds pretty
I'm
impressive.
just excited that's we're gonna talk ball a little bit this morning. Bro, I didn't watch either one of those games. Cooper Flag is fine. He's fine. He's not Luca. He doesn't have that same venom that Luca has. You know what I mean? Luke
Right.
fantastic. He's phenomenal, and I will never forgive the Mavericks for trading him away. I haven't watched
Never.
a single game since.
It's interesting that Mark McClure played Jimmy Olsen more than Christopher Reeve played Superman. That is kind of interesting, yeah. But I did like Superman movie. It's just not very memorable because it has so much stuff. It doesn't really feel like I don't remember the one storyline because the storyline was like, okay, Lex Luthor wants to do this, but actually he wants to do this, but actually he wants to do this, but actually this was a plan all along. Like I kind of felt like it was fun in watching the movie. But I can see like some people were like, nah, it wasn't really for me, or I didn't understand it, or I can't really remember it because the plot was kind of tough to follow. Just if you want to like go over there, turn your brain off, it's like, oh wow, this is a lot. This is quite a bit. Like, what's actually happening? Why are all these characters in here? That movie had a lot to juggle, and because of that, it did that. The Superman movie kind of felt like it was, all right, let's do everything. It's like the first explosion of you writing a new movie or a new story. That's kind of what it felt like. Because when you start a new story, you kind of want to do everything. Like, there's this and this and this and this and this. All of this together. And I guess no one has told James Gunn no. Like, that's what it felt like. No one told James Gunn no, that we got to whittle this down a little bit. I mean, I find it fun, but it was too much probably for a general audience to get invested or to remember, because there was just so much going on. And it was hard to like pinpoint what the plot actually was overall. It's just a bunch of stuff was happening.
They gave him way too much rope, and you know what I mean, and like freedom to do whatever he wanted to, and not only his own movies, but everyone's movies.
Yeah, everybody. It's kind of slap LD. I hate Slander fans, but I had to admit, Man of Steel is better. We'll put film that suits to 2025. Man of Steel I didn't like because it kind of just tore down Superman as a hero and made him too dark and too cynical. I did not like that. However, to be fair to Man of Steel, it did have a plot I could follow.
I tried rewatching Man of Steel the other day. I made it 10 minutes.
It does feel like it takes stuff too seriously. It's a little pretentious.
Yep, it insists upon itself.
Yeah, exactly. It insists upon itself. It really does. And really, you want to start off with Zod? Like, does we have to start off with Zod? Can we start off like something a little bit smaller, like on Earth, and then Zod or something? Zod feels like movie 2 kind of bad guy or movie 3 kind of bad guy.
But but if not level 10, like what James Gunn did.
Yeah, this I think it'd be okay if we started off with a Superman movie with like a level 1 Superman, level 1 Lex Luthor, and you can see kind of them both grow. Let's see here, chat. His morning LD. I've got a good video for you to check out. It's called "The 5 Rules of Race Swapping Characters." I actually have that one up here. I just couldn't fit it in the the titles here.
by Casual View Productions.
I'm not sure who did it, but I do know it's about Black Snape, right?
Yeah, this must.
Yeah, it's about Black Snape. Yeah, I have that one up here actually.
Producing B-tier characters like Supergirl in the next phase, when presumably you'd have enough commercial momentum and fan goodwill to actually support them. What I'm saying here is that if you add all these different factors
What really it boils down to is that the Supergirl movie better be damn good. You're gonna be in trouble.
Yeah.
together, the challenge in market
Oh, look, it's like Captain America who did nothing wrong. I like this guy.
for superhero movies in general these days, the historically low success rate of female-led superhero flicks in particular, and the lackluster state of the franchise it's now part of, then the chances of box office glory for Supergirl look about as likely as Gal Gadot winning an Oscar for Best Actress. A more likely
That felt
scenario is a global haul somewhere in the region of 400
That movie was okay too. The Fantastic Four. It also felt like the plot was a little much. It was all I still don't know exactly what the plot was.
It's so dumb. How the fuck are you gonna move your planet somewhere without your moon? Do you know what that's gonna do to the women's moon cycles? They're all gonna go bananas when you finally get it there.
That's exactly what happened. I was like, are they really doing the Patrick plan? We'll take our planet and move it somewhere else.
Oh man,
Come on. You're doing you're in trouble when you're down to Patrick. You're doing the
Right.
Patrick plan. But it was okay. I found it entertaining enough. I think I like the idea of the movie more than I like the movie because
Yeah, I
the
get
world was
that.
like the world had that cool flavor to it. It wasn't just generic Marvel slop. It had like some ideas behind how the world was.
Yeah, but those ideas, the foundation of how the world building, no.
They didn't really do anything with it. It was just kind
the
of
whole
there.
all the countries in the of the world gave up their weapons. Get the fuck out of here! Because of these four?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's like how it works.
Yeah. Are they going to
also-
be able to get over to my? Because they're in New York. I'm in fucking San Antonio. If I get robbed, are they showing up?
I don't think so. I'm pretty sure they're not. In fact, what was it? Okay, so I'm pretty sure that in this scenario, they could have just had the plot be Galactus wants to eat Earth. I think it's all they really needed. It's kind of like, did you ever, when you were in school, did you ever have a classmate who was just overly the overachiever, to the point where there's a simple project, but they want to overachieve so much that they kind of overcomplicate the project to the point of being impossible. That's kind of what I see sometimes with these movies, where the plot could just easily have been Galactus is approaching. He wants to eat the planet. We didn't really need them to go into space or have a baby or any of that stuff. It's just Fantastic Four stops Galactus. That could have been pretty interesting, but no, they had to throw in all this extra stuff plot wise in there, like a baby, them going to space. The baby is like the successor to Galactus or something like that.
Well, that's what Galactus wanted. But
Yeah.
it goes back to what we were just saying about starting at a level 10. Galactus is a third movie and a trilogy villain.
That's like the
Why
ultimate.
couldn't
That's
we
like
start with Mole Man?
I think Galactus is almost. I wouldn't say they're Moriarty, but I mean Galactus is kind of like their end boss.
Yeah.
Like Doctor Doom is their Moriarty, but like this, if you had like a gigantic end boss, like the end of all things, like this is the end of a series
Yeah.
encounter.
The only reason they did it is because they have to get them into the mainline MCU.
Yeah, they're gonna try.
Wait, no,
Let's
because
see.
that didn't even do it though.
They didn't go to another dimension or anything.
Yeah, but there's the after credit scene for Thunderbolts where they arrive on the main MCU Earth 619 or whatever.
I don't know how that happened. Let's
They
see.
didn't explain it.
Alex Hay looks at the Fighter Chats as rule 1, don't race swap. Rule 2, made the Fate series. All the rules you can join a swap, as long as they're like pretty, Let's see here. She-Hulk could have been good if they made a show if they made it good. Could have been good if they made it good.
$100 million. Not exactly great,
All right, so we're halfway through the video. Let's see how we can fix this.
but it also doesn't have to be a disaster either if you keep your budget under control, like under $100 million. Any
What?
serious market research would have
Yeah, one easy way to keep it under $100 million is to keep the plot a little bit simpler. Like have it on Earth, for example, no space shenanigans, none of that stuff. And see you chat.
Check for cheers.
Yeah, some cheers. I could have sworn I got it, but let me see.
Told them this way in advance, and if they had the common sense.
Let me see. Oh, what's made the 10 cheers is that what's also bad? Doing a 5th movie plot in the first movie. Yeah, a lot like Superman, I think that did that. Fantastic Four. I guess they want to go big and make sure, like, well, this is an intense movie. But they really should have gone simple. Simple to follow, really fun to watch kind of thing.
It's something that I always enjoy when I was doing improv would be seeing people that come in too big instead of working their way up.
Yeah.
We were doing a warm up game where basically we're all in a circle and then 2 people are in the middle and then you can tag them out. And this bitch comes in there hopping on one leg. I'm like, nobody tag her out.
It's
So
somebody
she would
tag her
learn
out.
her lesson. You don't hop, you don't come in that big. When, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Let her sit out there and see how long she can hop on this leg.
See how long you can stay on that one
Yeah,
leg.
because she wanted to come in too hot, man.
That's tough. That's rough. Yeah, you don't want to go too big. You want to make sure that you can handle being there the entire time. Whatever it is you choose, you want to see if you can do that the entire time.
What's funny now is because movies are being made with keeping in mind that they have to hook the viewer within like the first 5 minutes, or they're going to be on their cell phone the whole time. Is part of the same strategy that also is like, hey, make sure that you remind everybody about the plot in your dialogue every once in a while, like every 20 minutes, for the people who are just looking up from the phone so they don't get lost. But it's kind of the same thing. It's just that they're going to come in. They have no patience for to build. It may be a lack of talent. They're not talented enough to have an interesting movie that builds.
And maybe not. But I guess I think the idea might be that superhero movies are failing or they're not as interesting anymore. So, but it's so expensive. We need to get people in seats and buying tickets. So we got to make it big. We got to have Galactus come in. We got to have Lex Luthor open up pocket dimensions and all kinds of crap.
Yeah, right. That's it's the they took the wrong lessons from why the MCU worked when it was working. They're like, oh, it's because of all the shiny colors and boom booms and the pew pews and the lasers,
and the space battles or whatever. No,
Yeah.
it was because they took their time
It
and
was-
built up everything.
Yeah, it was the characters. Yeah.
Yeah, they built up slowly.
Sense they would have acted on it. Recognize the potential, but also the limitations of your film, and accept that just throwing more money at the problem isn't going to fix it. Superman had one of the most over-the-top marketing campaigns in Hollywood history, and well, look where it got them. The second unpleasant truth we have to come to terms with here is that if you're a movie studio, the media is not your friend. Yeah, they might be all fake smiles and friendly puff piece interviews, but at the end of the day, they have all the sincerity of a female compliment. What they really want to do is sell headlines, generate clicks, make noise online, and nothing generates headlines like a good controversy. That is what they are looking for every minute of
No.
every day. No entertainment
Who is? Who's looking for this? Because I'm pretty sure they're not. Because they went to her specifically and said, "Shut the fuck up."
What, Rachel Zegler? I think
Yeah.
they did tell her to shut up.
Yeah.
Like, no
So I
more
don't know
from
what he
you.
means here. No,
no
this
more
is
from you,
not-
young
this is
lady.
the last thing that they want to happen.
Journalist worth their salt wants to report on a happy and harmonious production that's releasing into a welcoming market and expecting to do just fine. What they want is conflict, backlash, sensationalism,
Who
brave
is them?
actors taking a stand.
That's probably the entire reason why they had Black Snape, because that's all that's been in the news. Black Snape has been the spearhead keeping everything in the news. It's been the endless fire has been stoking the news around the Harry Potter show.
Here's what I think it may be. I think that when they know their product is going to be weak, like with the Obi-Wan show, they lead with everyone's mad because of they're all racist and that's why they're criticizing her or whatever. They preload the accusations of fans being racist and misogynistic because that's a shield. So whenever they have any actual criticism, they put that shield up like, racism, misogyny, because they can't defend the movie. It's bad, so that they just use that shield, which is why I think that they include things like that they know is gonna to route up just because to act as a shield. But if they thought the movie was good, you wouldn't. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have to do that shit.
Yeah. Have confidence in your storyline. Have confidence in your work.
And if you don't keep bringing them back. And I'm talking to MCU with the fucking dude that wrote the WandaVision that's writing so many different projects now. No, you see he is shit.
He's the only one who'll take the job. Let's see. Wolfsbane then cheers his kiss. Keep it simple, stupid. Make sure the meat and the potatoes are cooked right before adding the extra stuff. Yeah, exactly. That's kind of a writing slogan. You could say a mantra. Keep it simple, stupid. It's really easy and almost instinctive. Where you're like, oh, I want to make the best story ever. Here's have all this crap in it. Here's this thing will happen. This thing will happen. This thing will happen. This thing will happen. That's why writers need a tard wrangler, which is an editor. Just say, no, cut that. We really don't need this. Tie this together, simplify this down into something that's easy to follow and something you can play around with and something that's very interesting. And we don't really need to have 10 villains and 10 twists. We don't really need to have Lex Luthor go, I want the land. No, I want to be king. No, I want to kill Superman. No, there's like 5 twists of what Lex Luthor wants in the movie. Insane. This says, do unchecked creatives only find tangible story scripts or projects interesting? Is that why they normally run the original story characters into the ground and add their own flourishes? Probably, because I think one of two things I think from what I observed tends to happen is that these people are creative people, right? They're actually creative people and they want to express their own creativity, but it's really tough to get your own project off the ground. Like they've talked about, like several people have talked about this. Like George Lucas talked about this extensively, where they didn't really want to bet on an unknown. Even John Wick in Wick is Pain, they kind of like, nah, we don't really want to fund this very much. Like, so it is tough to get a new IP off the ground. Like, same thing with Deadpool. I didn't really want to do Deadpool either. They kind of just try to sabotage it. But it's like, okay, I want to do my own stuff, but all I can really do is stuff that's safe, like the big IPs. Right. So what you're stuck with is, okay, I got a job making a Marvel movie. I got a job making a Star Wars movie, but I really want to be creative. So let me add this in here. I don't really want to do Star Wars. I want to make my own thing. So let me go ahead and make my own thing, but in the world of Star Wars. And then
it's what I was saying earlier about with Ryan Johnson having a story that he put the coat of paint.
Star Wars. Yeah, the paint job on. Yeah,
that's what they do because they wanted their thing to be made, but it's not. Fine, I will bend your MCU around my story.
And I think it's what's been going on for years now, where like they get a project and they kind of bend it to their own story, and that's why we have like the whole. This is not Star Trek. This is not Star Wars. This is not whatever. Either. This is not He-Man. That sort of thing. Which is unfortunately I can sympathize with. I can sympathize with people who want to be creative but are unable to be creative because Hollywood no longer bets on new IPs or new creative ideas. On the other hand, I still say you're given the reins. You better respect the reins. It's anyway. Draconic Demigod comes in with a $20 super chat. Thank you very much, Draconic Demigod. Appreciate it. You know what? I think the only way to get actual funding for random crazy movies if you're a woman, like what's her name? She made The Bride or something. Like that's insane. Like there's no IP. I mean, it is after like Frankenstein, Bride of Frankenstein, but how is she get all that money? Like, what is she just like? Okay, you know what? I'll tell everyone about XYZ if you unless you give me a bunch of money. It kind of feels like she knows where some skeletons are hidden. Like
she hasn't even spit it all out yet, and she's already trying to blackmail them.
Exactly. And this full mouth. All right. So how much you giving me? It's a trying to give me all this a $20 super chat. If the original trilogy is a hero's journey, then this prequels is a Shakespearean tragedy. That's what it's supposed to be. He really modeled it off of Paradise Lost. I think he actually mentions this. That's why their final battles on Mustafar, which is like, all this fire and crap.
Which is the correct pronunciation, Chad? Mustafar.
Yeah, I think that's
That
it.
is yeah. That's
There's not a lot of cows on there yet, but eventually they get on there.
Well,
I
how
forget
do
what
you
it's
think
called.
it happened? It was all the cow farts that
That caused the whole world to erupt into
Yeah.
lava.
if we're on the path to that. You don't want to live on Mustafar, do you?
Yeah.
Stop eating hamburgers.
And then for some reason he made his fortress there. For some reason. But and then later on, the sequel trilogy made it into like this weird forest or something like that. Oh, look, it's Mustafar. Like, how the hell did that happen?
Right?
In like just a few decades? I don't think so. But yeah, so that's why he had the whole thing with they fought in like this essentially hell. They fought in hell. So it's technically Shakespearean. Really, I think they model it more off of John Milton's Paradise Lost. That idea that it's better to reign in hell than serve in heaven, that sort of thing. Although they could have done it a lot better, a lot better, because that would have been understandable. That'd been pretty interesting to see him like become, be the lightest, the brightest shining hero ever, and then see his gradual fall. So the first movie should have been Anakin Skywalker wins a big battle. Like he gains his name as a great hero of the galaxy, and he should not have been a kid. That's number one. Do not have him be a kid. Have him just be like a Padawan or something. Like I know that might still be teenager level, but do not have him be like an 8-year-old in movie 1.
Yeah,
It's
that
ridiculous.
yeah, that wasn't a good idea. I get
Like
why
have
he
him be
did it.
around. I'd say have him be around Luke's age. I mean, like 18, 19.
Yeah.
Padawan. And then he earns his spurs, becomes like a Jedi Knight. Like have the first movie be he wins a big victory, and the ending scene is him getting rewarded by becoming a Jedi Knight. Like we get to see his little
Passing the
Padawan
trials.
ponytail cut off. Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I don't know if you are gonna get a kid, I'm not trying to hate on him. It wasn't his fault, but get one that can act. Especially if you have a director who doesn't know what humans are like.
Yeah, probably like
That's
2
a
other
bad
big things.
combination. Yeah, an untalented actor with someone who has no idea how humans interact with each other. That's not going to work.
Exactly. It's the Jedi downfall wasn't due to arrogance. It was or they want to wipe out the Sith. It's because they got too involved in politics and war. Yeah, the Jedi in that era, he stated was supposed to be the Jedi in their decline, like they're just fat. Yeah. Essentially, I'm not literally fat, but like they're in decadence essentially,
resting on their laurels.
Exactly.
On
That's kind of what it's supposed to be.
on their reputation alone.
That's
like
why they
walking in
were
like,
so.
You know who I am?
Yeah, it's like what was it? Like Bane for the third Batman movie that I don't really talk about much because I have forbidden to talk about the movie. But he's like, "Oh, victory has conquered you." Remember that line? That's kind of what the Jedi were supposed to be like. Victory has conquered them, or whatever.
Okay, I get it. Yeah,
victory has defeated them. They're kind of just resting on the laurels. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, hello, Batman. Oh, hello, Mr. UPS man.
Fucking, I really hope I want Odyssey to be good because I loved Oppenheimer, but I really hope that these new IMAX cameras, they're supposed to be more padding or insulation, so because they're so loud you can't use the audio from the on set or whatever, so he has to do a lot of ADR and has no idea how to mix sound, like do the sound mixing. I don't know if you've noticed that about Christopher Nolan movies, but fuck me, dude.
His music is really, really loud, and his dialogue is really, really like whispered quiet.
It's ridiculous. I hope that gets fixed by.
So I watched Tenet. I like Tenet. I
did not
that
like
was
that movie.
Pretty interesting, but yeah, it was still like the music was just so loud, and then the dialogue is so quiet, and the dialogue is important that one because he has to explain all this timey-wimey crap.
Okay, but they don't listen. This is what I hate because is one of the worst examples of lamp shading, where it's him and the old lady, and the old lady kind of talking about the guns. He's like, okay, so how does it work? And she goes, it does.
Yeah, it works. It just does.
That's fucking it, bro.
Let's see. The Jedi downfall wasn't due to arrogance. It was the wipe of the Sith because they got too involved in politics and war. That was a big part of it. I think they knew they shouldn't have done that either, but they managed to do it. They did it anyway. And see,
Oh.
Alex Halo, because there was one part where Obi-Wan's like, "I cannot fight this war for you, princess or queen or
Yeah, or
senator,"
whatever. But
something
real
like that,
quick
whatever she was.
on Draconian Domingo, I forgot his screen name or whatever. The $20 super chat. So I was close. What did I say?
Antonio Domingo doesn't even start with.
I was pretty close. Anyway, so Antonio, the video that I have in the private chat that we're gonna watch if we don't get this goal disagrees with you. They think that it's Yoda's fault because
It's all
of all
Yoda's
the
fault.
corruption and and he covered up so many different crimes.
So many crimes. The whole thing with the acolyte really want to demonize Yoda. Like Yoda suddenly goes from wise master to a guy who just his main job is just covering up crimes. Apparently,
They really wanted the Jedi to be bad, and they're like, "Oh no, it stabbed their witch or whatever." That bitch turned into a ghost. What was he supposed to do? It turned into a smoke monster.
she reached for the Force. Like that was justifiable use, I think.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Let's see. There we go. There you must trying to be God, appreciate. And then as Halo Edition 5, which is index anime. These people over here have power, and the ones over here have magic. That's kind of what I like about it. It's like science versus religion versus magic. It's pretty interesting. It's pretty interesting the way they handle it. Maggie Gyllenhaal. I knew it was like Gyllenhaal. I just forgot her first name. Let's see. Just sit back, Hollywood feminists in projects by decades. It makes my Schadenfreude happy. Yeah. Let me make
the Bride movie. I haven't heard anything about it.
Actually, I just know it was really, really bad. But yeah, it's like, okay, I want to make a movie to show off how oppressed women are. But that she made that with a copious amount of someone else's money. Okay, that really, I don't really think I don't really see someone who can just generate $100 million or whatever to make a vanity project as oppressed. That doesn't seem correct to me.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. It's the same as like, oh, we're this totalitarian, you know what I mean? We're all being oppressed or whatever, so we're gonna protest. Are you allowed to protest in those types of government?
I'm pretty sure you're not allowed to protest if it's like a dictatorship going on. Pretty sure they'll kill you.
It's The View with the women who have millions of dollars, are worth millions upon millions of dollars, talking about how oppressed women are, and especially women of color. Like, no, if y'all were, you wouldn't have this happening right now. You don't get to talk about that shit publicly on a large platform. If you know what I mean, if it really is that type of government.
Yeah, I'm pretty
So
sure it's how
stupid.
it's supposed how if it was actually dictatorship, there would be no View, there'd be no CNN, there would be White House News or something like that, like some state-run news network, like overtly state-run, secretly state-run, like we have now.
Yeah.
Let's see. Wolf's Bailey 2 says, make him 14 to 16, not 18. Yeah, something around there. But Obi-Wan still has to, teach him. And then we can cut the whole thing about, we're not supposed to teach him because he's dark and evil or something like that. How about no one knows about that yet? How about he's like, just a promising young man who's going to be a Jedi, and then have him win his first victory, make him like shine like the sun. He's the best guy ever. He gets his promoted to Jedi Knight or something like that. Maybe at the end there. No Qui-Gon. How about have Obi-Wan be a Jedi Knight already, and then Anakin be his apprentice, and then boom, that's the end of that, and they're both Jedi Knights.
Well, they fucked up when they killed Maul off in the first one.
And they know it too. That's why Maul is now everywhere, and he's been brought back to life like 4,000 times.
Bro, the funniest thing I saw was one of the funniest things was in Solo when he's on the hologram or whatever and stands up and ignites his lightsaber to let people know that
for no
I'm
reason.
Maul.
That was pretty funny. It's like, why'd you do that?
They did the same thing in the ending of Rise of Palpatine. Ignites her yellow lightsaber, but like, yeah, it's okay. I'm burying these two in the sand. I have this one.
There is Anakin Skywalker. Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber in the sand.
Big fan of sand.
Biggest
this
fan of
Anakin guy.
sand.
Yeah. I'm gonna take this thing, this this item that represents him or whatever, right? And I'm gonna bury it into the thing he loves the most.
which is sand, not Padme, but sand. So Will Spain chooses make him 14, 16, not 18 because Obi-Wan's 18. Yeah, just make him like a Padawan first movie. Boom, Jedi Knight by the end of the first movie. Now and then we could swing into the war that he fought. The Clone Wars begins. And then we're swinging into the Clone Wars in the second movie. Then third movie is where he falls, that sort of thing. So that should have been what really happened. It should have been the main character should have been Anakin from movie one, not Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, and then we wait like an hour until we finally meet Anakin on some planet called Tatooine. I mean, I guess Qui-Gon could be in there, but he really shouldn't be the main character to start off with. The Qui-Gon is for Obi-Wan. We don't have to see it, I suppose. We could just have it as backstory to show it later. Yeah, we could see it in flashbacks. It could still be alive. It could just be walking around the temple, and sometimes Obi-Wan might go to him for advice or something. But it shouldn't be Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon go to a trade route discussion. It should be, let's start off with Anakin. How about that? Let's start off with Anakin, and he's a Jedi Padawan. That sounds good.
And against hatred and intolerance. They want to dig up something, anything to get people to click on that news article to land that next big scoop, even if they have to goad actors and celebrities into talking about things that they clearly do not want to talk about.
The reason I'm asking about the past is that you've talked in other interviews again about your relationship with your father and the role of all of that in
like Robert Downey Jr. is thinking about something else. Like, did I leave the oven on? I really want some cookies when I get back home.
the dark periods you entered and taking drugs and drinking and all of that. And I just wondered whether, you,
He is
He's
dying
like, come on,
inside.
man. Get to the question, bro.
you think you're free of all of that, or whether that's still
I'm
something.
sorry, I really don't. What are we doing?
Yeah, he lost
Case
the
of-
thread so quick in that question. I've been there.
You're like, what?
Okay, can you start
point.
over and break it up?
What are you asking?
Millie Alcock's recent statements about being a young actress in not one but two major franchises, House of the Dragon and now Supergirl. Now, that was all part of a much bigger and
She's in House of the Dragon. I guess
House
I
of
haven't
Dragon,
watched
yeah.
that one.
She
Longer
played the
inter-
young Ramirez, is that her name?
I don't know. I tried watching House of the Dragon. It was fine.
The
But it
first
was,
season was okay. The
I
second
wanted
one was bad.
more. I got introduced to it after Duncan Egg. Like the HBO was like, "Hey, you finished Night of the Seven Kingdoms. Here's House of the Dragon." And like I'm kind of in the mood for awesome heroic guys right now, like awesome heroic stories. Not really. Episode 1, this guy's wife died. He kills the king kills his own wife to save the kid, and the kid dies too. And like, oh man, it's pretty rough. It's pretty rough.
review that covered all
Yeah.
manner of
I
topics.
love
House of the Dragon. House of the
Duncan
Dragon
Egg
is
was
like more
great.
Game of Thrones. It's just more Game of Thrones, I think.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, just looking at the characters, you're like, wait, that's supposed to be Tyrion. That's supposed to be, the old Lannister, whatever the fuck his name was. Everyone's dead.
Tywin, like Tywin.
Tywin, yeah. You could be like, okay, that is this character. You know what I mean? Oh man, the second season was bad, but no, I really enjoyed Duncan Egg. I could have done without some of the really raunchy jokes that they did or whatever, the shitting and all of that and the fart. Some of that was like, you have a good show here, guys. You don't have to do this shit.
And we had to keep the giant dick.
Oh
We
yeah,
had to keep the giant old man dick in there at the beginning of episode 2.
I had a name for him. It's Sir Longshaft.
Sir Arlen of Penis Tree.
Yeah,
That was my name for him.
Yeah, that was a work cock, anyways, dude. You could tell, bro.
No, it's real. I think they cast him like, we need old man with giant dick. Old man actor with giant dick.
Speaking of giant dicks, did you see 28 Years Later Bone Temple yet?
Not yet. Bone
It's on
Temple, not
Netflix.
yet.
Dude,
Not yet.
I was surprised at how much better it was than because that other 28 Years Later was garbage. Holy fuck! It ends with the Power Rangers jumping in. Thank God this one calmed that shit down. The whole Power Ranger bullshit. But
Bone Temple put a lot more penis in there.
no. What did that? Oh, the giant the alpha zombie guy. with his cock just swinging all over the place.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that.
Yeah, no, I enjoyed it a lot more than the other one.
I thought you would like the other one more because it's a gigantic penis.
Oh,
ring.
it's still there, and
There's
he
plenty of it.
actually has a lot more screen time.
I don't know why they don't just kill that guy. Why
You'll-
don't you just
you'll
kill
see.
the alpha zombie? I
You'll
guess we'll see.
Well,
But the
I
moment
won't,
she
'cause I've
happened
seen.
to
But I'll see.
mention the reaction to her as a woman online, well, guess what every major news outlet decided to leave
Millie Alcock, speaking of cock, on possible Supergirl backlash from fan superhero genre criticism from Martin Scorsese. Like we've had so many like female characters in superhero films that no one complained about.
Yep.
Like if they were really want things to succeed, they'd probably be asking themselves, why are people complaining about them now? Because people like Black Widow and Avengers, like she did a really good job, and it wasn't like she was just there for eye candy. She was like responsible for tricking Loki, which was pretty impressive, and she was responsible for like calming down the Hulk and everything. Like she had some major parts to play in these movies, but it was only after they started doing some woke crap that people started complaining about all the female heroes.
Well,
So maybe they should start asking themselves this thing.
This is what I was kind of talking about of them front loading the they're going to be sexist because of female like women in Superman. I mean, in superhero movies. See, they're already kind of prepping everyone for
They're just
what they're going to blame.
I think they're kind of like doing the whole pearl clutching thing before it even happens. I mean,
Yeah, they always do that when they know that it's not going to be good enough to stand on its own. And if you think that, I know earlier, Critical Drinker was like, "Oi, the media, oi, the media, they just want the controversy or whatever." You know what I mean? I know because
the media should go away. No.
Yeah. a lot of these reporters, or I don't even call them that, but these bloggers, they're paid or or given benefits. You know what I mean, for putting out what the studio wants them to put out.
Yeah, like whores. They're paid
Yeah.
for putting out.
The shills, yeah.
Let's see. By the way, Chad, we've made it $206 out of 300. Just need 94 more dollars to reach the goal, and we have until the end of tomorrow's stream to hit that.
No,
But,
we have 10 minutes where we're gonna do the Yoda video.
Oh man, the Yoda video. It's all Yoda's fault.
with. And the thing is, it didn't have to happen.
And see, Mega Spider-Man Lecture 2 says, what would you do with a Batman film or show?
I would find somebody competent to do it because I know I couldn't. I've never directed one before.
It all depends. It all depends.
Yeah.
Like, is it a film or a show? Because it's a film, I know that essentially the best thing to do with a film in mind is this is going to be a short story. I need to adapt. I have a budget to adapt a short story into a major production. So I could either make a brand new story, which has been pretty fun sometimes, or I could, is Schumacher still around?
I would definitely
Chill.
skip. I would skip the whole he let his parents die in that back alley thing. Because you know what I mean? We all get it.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't really bother with the origin unless it ties into the story at hand.
Yeah, I liked the fighting of the Ben Affleck Batman. I thought it was really, really awesome in the warehouse.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
cool.
I like Ben Affleck as Bat. I would have loved to if we would have gotten his directed Batman movie. That would have been phenomenal because he is a better director than he is an actor. But I don't know. I kind of like the emo Patterson Batman. You know?
Yeah, he has a different style to him. I like that movie. It just felt a little too pretentious, and it kind of like, why is Penguin in here? And I didn't really like the Riddler that much. Riddler's one of my favorite villains. And it's like I just call him trash bag Riddler. Like, what is this whole thing? Can he just be a dapper gentleman? Like, can he just be like this badass, like hyper genius guy, like he is like the Adam West Batman show, where he's wearing like suits and stuff. And he's like jumping around and giggling like a maniac, but he's wearing suits. He's very dapper. I want that Riddler.
I don't see. You're going a different way. I don't mind the more serious tone, but it's difficult though because of the I don't kill rule. You know, that's a tough one to get around because all of his gadgets and shit cause so much massive damage, but we're supposed to just like no, that car that flipped over 80 times after he catapulted like You know what I mean? With
Yeah.
the hook or whatever from his Batmobile. Yeah, that guy's alive. No, they're dead.
Did you see the Penguin, the show?
I didn't finish it, but I got a lot through it. Yeah,
I liked it. I liked most of it until the ending.
I'm
Where
a
like,
big
okay,
Colin Farrell fan.
this guy's just awful. I kind of want him to lose at the end. It's like this guy's just evil. He's not misunderstood. He's just evil. He's just an evil dick. So I'm like, yeah, just come on, someone come in to shoot him.
Colin Farrell has a great noir series on Apple TV called Sugar.
Interesting.
It's
So
so good. It's
So he's in
really, really
another
good.
he's in another like noir style TV show.
Yeah, Sugar.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was really
Insane.
fucking good.
But yeah, probably like this. If it's a Batman film, short story, pretty cool. A bad guy does bad thing. Batman tries to go in there. Just keep the plot simple. I'm not sure if I'm not sure if I would start with the Joker. Probably start with something else. But also something really cool. Like I know the first episode of Batman the Animated Series, I think starts off with the Joker. No, it starts off with Man Bat. Actually, the animated series starts off with Man Bat.
Well, Joker's his Moderatu. What's his name?
Moriarty.
Yeah, that guy. Did you see young Sherlock?
I haven't finished the first episode yet,
Dude,
but I'll get there.
I ended up liking it, bro. I was watching it, and the girlfriend, she was doing whatever in the other room, and I texted her. I'm like, I don't know who directed this, but whoever it is has seen every Guy Ritchie movie 10 fucking times.
And you were
each one of
right.
them.
You're
Because
right.
It was directed. He's the
'Cause-
showrunner for young. I didn't
Yeah, because
know.
Guy Ritchie.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, it was
ended
fun.
up liking it a lot more than I thought I was going to.
It's fun. I kind of liked it already. I didn't even finish episode 1, but I kind of like the energy already better than the BBC Sherlock.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is I like BBC Sherlock way back when it came out, but this feels way more masculine.
Yeah.
It feels
I
like a
really
lot
liked
more masculine. You can see here. Let's see. Let's have stand-up comedian should play Joker. Yeah, that'd be kind of funny, like an actual stand-up comedian.
No, I would want an actor.
And yeah, but I just like the idea of what if there's that Down syndrome looking guy? Remember him? Like
Shane
he'll be
Gillis?
yeah. He'll be the Joker. He also does a Trump impersonation.
Oh yeah. No, he has a series on Netflix called Tires. That's pretty good.
I haven't seen
It's
that
pretty
one
funny.
yet.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Let's see.
In that way, all she really needed to say was, fans are free to think whatever they like.
Let's see. Alex Haley's Fighter Trip is the Index anime movie is about an immortal villain turning a space elevator into a Tower of Babel. That's insane. A tower like does make everyone speak different languages.
Hold on. Ghost.
Crazy.
No, who was saying that a Guy Ritchie movie was the best? Of course, Snatch is one of my favorite movies. I'm a huge Guy Ritchie fan to begin with. Yeah,
Guy
Snatch
Ritchie is
is up
fun.
there. No one's
I would-
saying that something else is better than Snatch.
I like his Sherlock Holmes movies. That's why I thought
They-
like he's young Sherlock, like the prequel to all this, but
It's not at all. But
it's not. It can't be, unfortunately. I don't know why he didn't do that.
I rewatched both of them after finishing Young Sherlock. Man, these were really fucking good. I really like them.
Yeah, I like the Sherlock movie. I mean, they were more like action oriented, but I am a fan of Sherlock Holmes, and I do like that spin on Sherlock. I do like Guy Ritchie's spin on Sherlock Holmes. I thought the first movie a little bit better, it's a little more of a Holmesian style adventure.
Yeah.
But I like both quite
Same.
a bit.
What did you like Guy Ritchie's spin on Robin Hood?
Which one was that one?
Hood. I forgot what it was called. Was it called Hood?
It doesn't sound like I would.
It had
Who stars in it?
Oh man, dude from what's his name? Fucking In the Golden Circle. Oh, the from not The Gentleman. What's it called?
The Kingsman.
The Kingsman.
Oh,
yeah,
this I haven't seen it yet. Is it good?
What?
The Robin Hood.
The Robin Hood movie?
Yeah.
Well, so check it out.
Taron Egerton. That's the guy. That's Eggsy.
Wait, did he do the Robin Hood? He did the King Arthur movie. Who did
King Arthur. That's what it's coming up with King Arthur.
Oh,
Robin Hood
okay.
film, King
That was
Arthur.
fun. Who did the Robin Hood movie?
I don't know. There's quite a few of those out there.
All I can say is that I gave this role my best shot. I'm grateful for this opportunity, and hopefully people will give the movie a fair chance and judge for themselves. It's simple, it's humble, and it's
the movie's called
uncontroversial.
Robin Hood.
It's not going to win you any fans in the news media, but it's not going to turn your own customers against you. And at the end of the day, those are the important ones. And all of this brings me to my third and final unpleasant truth here. Actors can fucking kill your movie.
Bro, I feel so bad.
Actors today don't just have to perform.
Hold on.
I've been crediting Guy Ritchie for this horrible Robin Hood movie, and it was directed by Otto Bathurst. Never heard of him.
Never heard of Let's see. I think there's some other reasons besides Rachel Zegler, I think, why Snow White failed. I don't think it was all due to her, because I watched the movie. It sucked. It was really bad. Like, it's really, really bad movie. Like, just it's on an objective level. Like, it didn't really know. It's like 3 plot lines put together. It's like, okay, here's some bandits, here's some dwarves. Somehow we got to put them in there. Like, the movie's so bad. If you removed all the parts with the dwarves, it wouldn't really make a difference whatsoever, plot wise.
By the way, Edgar Wright did the Running Man remake, not Guy Ritchie.
And I guess a lot of people like to copy Guy Ritchie's style.
No,
Yeah.
Edgar Wright has his own style, which he did not use as much as he, you know what I mean? It was really tampered down in the Running Man remake.
Alex Halix of Shit says that the immortal villain wants to make God mad to end their immortal life, which would end up, is it Cain? It's the bad guy Cain, which would end up having the elevator fall back to Earth and everyone will die.
Wait, why are they wanting to make me God?
Wants to make God mad. Doesn't want to make mad God. Want to make God mad. We want to turn God into you, I think. Let's see.
And
Form
also,
in
I
the
didn't
film.
mind the new Running Man movie. I'm not a big fan of the original one. I get it, but you know what I mean? But yeah, I thought it was fine. I like that guy, whatever his name is.
Let's see.
Plays Chad Powers.
Is that Sydney Sweeney on the right? I think you can recognize her without looking at the face. Pretty sure.
Anymore. They also have to be borderline professional hype men, PR gurus, salesmen, raconteurs, and politicians all rolled into one. And with an entertainment news complex that's always sniffing around for the next headline, one fuck up is
This lady became the face of smug interviewer.
Yeah.
He instantly became the face of smug millennial interviewer. It's every single woke smug liberal interviewer.
headline, one fuck up is all it takes to derail a film's entire promo campaign. Now, I'll admit that some actors are better at this than others. Some are master bullshit artists who can talk for hours without really saying anything and still look good doing it. Others can effortlessly deflect attempts to bait them, using
Pretty sure The Rock could do that.
charm and a bit of verbal panache to get the conversation back
I saw one scene from The Witcher that almost made me want to watch the entire show, and it was like this one guy who had killed all the DI characters.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
He's up against like this fantasy Antifa crew, and he just killed them all, and it was awesome. Like, this is cool. I want to see this guy. Obviously, he's the main character and the hero.
on track without making things awkward.
I'm curious if that's comparable to this sort of world, this culture of toxic fandom, where like if you make a movie, especially if you make a superhero movie, like you have great intentions, but there are always going to be a small yet vocal group of people there can kind of just be toxic.
I understand what you're saying, but when it comes to fans, it is a fan's right to have whatever opinion they want to have.
Oh no, that's where his career went away.
Yep.
Can't have a star have like a reasonable take on this. That's
How
insane.
dare he say that we should make a joke out of Roach being killed?
How dare he kind of defend The Witcher and like quote it like a Bible?
People are going to be
has
upset.
read the fucking books.
That's not the biggest sin of all. How dare he have read the actual source material?
Yeah.
As ever since then, like no. We want people who specifically have not read the source material working for our projects. Thank you very much. That way you cannot question me.
Because especially when you're talking about books or games, because you're never going to be the exact person who they had in their head or who they played
Except
on
you
Witcher 3,
were
for example.
Geralt.
I don't necessarily consider that toxic. I just consider that passionate.
Unfortunately, though, others don't just walk straight into
Dude,
the trap. They run into
man,
it
he
head
was
first and then
phenomenal as
keep
Garrett.
going like they're taking a
Geralt.
fucking victory lap.
The show would have been so awesome if they just listened to him.
It's so he was so good, man. Because when I first saw him as the Witcher in like in one of the photos or whatever, I was like hashtag not my Geralt. But then when I heard him go Roach, I'm like fucking that is Geralt, bro. Oh, he's so
Roach.
good. And they're like, yeah, but we don't care about him. Let's focus on the women,
Yeah, like who wants to see The Witcher in The Witcher?
right?
And it goes says they were garbage. Tries the Bond babes in those. Ava Green. Ava Green is good, I think, in most things she's in. Olga Karalenko and the Gmail. They were trash. Let's see.
The most extreme example is obviously going to be Rachel Zegler, whose never-ending cavalcade of PR disasters obliterated any chance of success for Snow White, but there's plenty of others that have walked the same tragic path. Brie Larson effectively derailed her career for
Real
at
quick,
least
though.
half a decade by coming across as prickly.
I get what he's saying. However, I don't think it works for a movie that's bad. A better example would be the Dungeons and Dragon movie with Chris Pine.
Oh yeah,
Because
that was a
movie
good
actually
movie.
really good.
It
But
almost got derailed by an interview.
it did get derailed. It didn't make nearly as much as it could have if they wouldn't have opened their fucking mouths. That's a better example because I don't think, as far as I have heard, the Snow White movie is just not a good movie.
It's awful. Like it's really bad.
Yeah.
It's like all they had to do was just do the Snow White story. But no, they had to change it up for modern audiences. They had to make sure that she didn't have to depend on a prince. This, you know what women like to see? They want the prince to get with the main character. They want the girl and the guy to get together. Just stop fighting it. Stop fighting it. You're alone in this battle. All right. Women want to see the handsome prince get with the beautiful princess. That's it. And they want him to be a prince. Okay, they don't really want to see the princess marry some bum.
And you know what?
happened.
And you know what? If you understand that, don't bring that shit over into our fucking movies either. Nobody wants to see a love story in the middle of an action movie. Like, you know what I mean? You can have a love interest or whatever, but fridge them like you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
No,
Or,
yeah.
just kind of like, don't worry about it too much. It's kind of like, okay, the main character is a man. He's assigned his wife, he's assigned his girlfriend. It's not really about keeping her. It's more along the lines of protecting her and fighting bad guys.
Yeah. Or
So that's about it.
avenging her.
Yeah. What are those options? Right. Kind of get the first Die Hard. There is a relationship on the rocks. Yeah. But he doesn't spend the entire movie trying to woo her. He's spending the entire movie shooting terrorists, and she finds that attractive. Perfect. That's the reason why the movie's legendary. Let's see. Megathon. That's a $10 super chat. Thank you very much, Megathon. Appreciate it. Let me see here. Where's the actual thing I need? Here we go. Let's see. Megathon cheers says rumors are flying that Henry Cavill's 40K series at Amazon is siding more and more with him. Well, yeah. They probably wanted to succeed. I think everyone's running out of money in Hollywood there. Like they're running out of like investment money. And the recent logistics issues GW are having with Fem Stodie's box. Yeah, they finally added in the female Space Marines.
What is Fem Stodie's box?
It's a female Space Marine Custodes, which is like the Space Marines that guard the Emperor, I think.
What? Wait, like in Wakanda?
Yeah, kind of like in Wakanda. They kind of wanted that. That never existed. Like all the Space Marines were just testosterone fueled men. Well, until recently. Let's see here. Got this. Fantastic. Thank you very much, everyone. All right, let me update this. Here we go. All right. Well. We're doing pretty good, chat. Thank you very much.
Aloof,
But not
combative,
good
and
enough to
about as
avoid
likable.
Yoda.
This is a perfect image, by the way. Like, are you serious, bitch? Like, look at what's his name? I forgot his
Chris
name is.
Hemsworth?
Black guy. The black guy. Rhodey. Yeah, he plays Rhodey. But
Yeah.
look at this face. Like, are you serious, bitch? You for real?
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, Cheadle. That's it. Because this is where Brie Larson is like really being hostile.
as a
Yeah.
shit sandwich during her Captain Marvel interviews, with journalists who were only too happy to feed the controversy, and all of that negative PR
She has been humbled since then, like major humility.
came back to bite her big time with the Marvels. Only in recent years has she finally realized these people are not on her side and they never were, and the only correct move is not to play.
Sort of outspoken and very vocal advocate.
All right, I think I know what his opinions are.
What are you
Listening to the
thinking?
first few words out of his mouth.
For Time's Up and Me Too. I'm curious how you feel about Johnny Depp's film opening the festival, and do you plan to see it?
Do you think he may be a part of the MMIWG2SLGBTQQIA plus community?
I saw that, and I think the M and stuff stands for like missing Indigenous women or something.
Yeah, missing and murdered indigenous.
What is that a sexuality? What is missing and murdered Indigenous women a sexuality?
I reposted it or whatever with TLDR, the gays and stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty much, just call it the gays, all right? It's kind of what they want to call it. But I know exactly where he was going with this. I don't know what part of the agenda he was going. I guess he was on the Me Too side. So he's like, oh, of course, anti Johnny Depp. Are you actually going to be like watching Johnny Depp's movie or whatever? Like, are you? You shouldn't do that.
Do you think they go to these screenings, like these festival films, and watch other people's films? No, that'd be like me watching streams that I'm not on.
Exactly. I kind of want to go to a film festival. Something like a fun thing to do.
Ugh, just I don't know, man.
I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of hippies there, which is the downfall. But I think it'd be pretty cool anyway.
You're asking me that?
Yes.
It's like Nikocado Avocado. Yes. Nikocado Avocado is a very fun gay dude. He's very fun to watch. He's a very entertaining person to see, like, cry about drama, because it's all fake. It's all fake. And then he did that awesome maneuver where he's like, "Oh yeah, I'm fat. I'm skinny. Take that. I lost 300 pounds." It's pretty good stuff.
I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't understand the correlation or why.
Asking Brie Larson this? Why are you asking Brie Larson this?
Me specifically.
All of this is
exactly. Why are you asking her?
Say that if you're making a movie like Supergirl and you've got a young and impressionable lead who's still learning the fame game,
say yes. I'm watching all these films. Sit down. Fuck you.
And could easily be big.
I like a Tarantino. They try to do that with Tarantino, where it's like they ask like, how come Margot Robbie doesn't have a lot of speaking lines in your movie? And he's like, I reject your premise or something like that.
Yeah.
It's something like that. It's like I refuse. I'm not going to answer that. That's dumb.
Or like the dude asking Matt Mikkelsen, like, well, it's not a very diverse movie. He's like, because it takes place in Norway. It's a Norwegian movie.
Yeah, there's not a lot of diversity over there, right? Well, there is now, but there wasn't back then.
I don't know. I don't know if they suffer like the rest of Europe, do they?
I'm not sure as bad. I don't think as bad.
Film's prospects, you should be very
apparently things are flipped over there. Like the left wing groups are very pro nationalism. They're very pro culture. So there's a lot of strong efforts to protect culture and cultural identity over there. It's kind of interesting.
Well, I mean, it's not going well in England.
No, they're the opposite. Like, oh yes, erase us, please erase us, Daddy. Come on, erase us faster.
But who you let them talk to, and you should give them as much media training as you possibly can beforehand. A single unguarded answer can cause weeks of negative media coverage, stir up fan resentment, and turn customers away from a movie they might have been on the fence about otherwise. So in a nutshell then, the drinker's advice for fixing Supergirl's PR and giving the movie a better chance of success could be boiled down to 3 simple steps. 1. Recognize this film isn't going to be a heavy hitter at the box office and either release it later into the slate when there's other bigger films to support it, or adjust the budget accordingly. 2. Recognize that the media aren't your friends and the paying customers aren't your enemies, and treat both accordingly. 3. Recognize that actors can and do say stupid things, and young and
hold on, is this the fixing part? Hold on.
Oh,
very
wait, hold on.
careful.
Before you hit that, somebody has a recommendation. I don't know how you feel about traveling to Iowa, but there's a film festival there this summer.
Iowa? Man, it's a long way away.
Fucking,
I'll
Iowa,
see what I could do.
It feels so boring. I had a roommate from Iowa one time. It just sounds like a horrible place to be.
I always feel weird when I step outside Texas. It,
Yeah,
it
it's
feels like I'm
weird.
stepping on an alien planet.
Yeah. Oh, New Mexico is dystopian. It's the most depressing, state I've ever driven through, bro. I don't know how people live there.
I mean, it's called New Mexico.
There.
About who you let them talk to, and you should give them as much media training as you possibly can beforehand. A single unguarded answer can cause weeks of negative media coverage, stir up fan resentment, and turn customers away from a movie they might have been on the fence about otherwise. So in a nutshell then, the drinker's advice for fixing
All right, here we go.
Supergirl's PR and giving the movie a better chance of success could be boiled
Okay, so I thought it was going to be fixing the movie or fixing the trailer, but I guess it's like PR
How
advice.
not to tank
down to
your movie.
Yeah.
3 simple steps. 1. Recognize this film isn't going to be a heavy hitter at the box office and either release it later and
I think number one, it'd be better if you say stay humble. I think it'd be better advice for number one.
to the slate when there's
Be
other
humble.
bigger
By the way, I just got a text from somebody, I guess is eavesdropping, said, "Hey babe, I just got a job offer in Iowa."
It's-
we ain't
you
taking
should
this.
take it so you can go to the film
Yeah.
festival.
films to support it or adjust the budget accordingly. 2. Recognize that the media aren't your friends and the paying customers aren't your enemies and treat both accordingly. 3. Recognize that actors can and do say stupid things and young and impressionable
The media are not your friends. That's a pretty good one. And what is this last one?
and the paying customers aren't your enemies and treat both
Respect your audience. That's a pretty good
Yes.
one. Be humble, respect your audience, and
accordingly. 3. Recognize that actors
control your actors. put like a Hassan style dog collars on them.
Right. You could probably have a whole, job field of people who help, celebrities interact with the media or like, you know what I mean? Give them tips or whatever. Or I don't know.
Have watchers where they this guy's tanking. Give him a phone call. Give him an emergency
Yeah,
phone call.
or line them up with media reporters or bloggers or whatever that you trust not to do something weird. Well, how about we call it public relations?
Managers or something. Yeah, something like that.
Something like that.
can and do say stupid things, and young and impressionable actors most of all, so be very careful about who they talk to and what they say. I'm not going to pretend you'd end up with a money printing machine on your hands if you do this stuff, but you'd at least have a better shot at success. And really, I think this advice would apply to most Hollywood films at this point. I know it's not going to matter, I know they're never going to listen to some drunken asshole like me, but hey, at least I can say I tried. Anyway, that's all I've got for today.
Go away now.
Go away now.
People
Go away
overreacting
now.
to
Fight
that
for my
bullshit.
freedom. Let's see here. All right, let's check this out. Let's check out this video at the 5 rules of race swapping.
Oh, man, you're too nice to your chat.
Let's see. The 5 rules of race swapping. Let's see here.
Snape may be the single worst character HBO could have chosen to race swap in the Harry Potter reboot.
And dropping it for 6 seconds.
Right? I think somebody said that this guy actually makes good points, so it's gonna be a tough video to oh fuck, hold on, I gotta bring my notes up to EMADS. Every
Yeah.
moment a direct stop. EMADS.
EMADS. Well, let's see what he has to say.
Not because race swapping is inherently bad, but because Snape.
I didn't start with this video because I saw the quality of the image here, and it kind of felt like this was from the 2000s. It's 2000s era, 90s era camera.
Violates almost every rule
Yeah, so
that makes a
saturated.
race swap actually work. And
And
once
the audio kind of feels a little rough. A little
Yeah.
bit.
you understand those rules, you realize something interesting.
Like that microphone has a very like low limit in terms of sound it can handle. That's what it feels like.
Well, it's
Harry-
better than whoever the fuck that fucking D&D guy is. That's horrible audio, but he's super fucking famous in D&D. You know the
XP
one that
level
does all
3?
the characters at the table or whatever?
Oh yeah, that is XP level 3. Yeah,
Yeah, with his
I didn't
shit
find his audio
fucking
particularly
audio.
I didn't find it that bad. This one is kind of noticeable. Well, it's a little
Bro,
bit.
the
Potter,
best guy you ever introduced me to was Puffin
Puffin
Forest.
Forest. Yeah,
I've
unfortunately,
watched
he went back to
almost all of his
school or
stuff.
something like that. He went back to
Loser.
school or college or something, and that's why he hasn't been making videos, unfortunately. But he's hilarious. He's really funny. Let's see. Megathon says, I don't know, Matt. LD hasn't EFAP the great show of the 2000s Yu-Gi-Oh! GX. Not yet. Not yet.
Actually has several characters who would have been excellent choices.
EMAD.
Hello there, and welcome to today's video. With the HBO reboot of the
It is Obi-Wan-us.
the Harry Potter
his
saga
cold
filming
open.
and coming soon to an HBO streaming service near you.
Do you do a lot of code opens for your videos?
Yeah, I do a teaser. Like, here's a little fun, something funny to start off with.
Yeah.
And then I get into it after the opener.
Yeah.
So
I'm with
I
you.
like the structure of his video. It's like, but the camera seems a little old, and the microphone probably needs to upgrade that a little bit.
Yeah,
But
can you put
otherwise, I
on
just love the
captions?
structure of it.
Can you put on captions for
There we
the
go.
audio?
Sorts of information about this new series has been filtering down to the masses. And one of the details that has become quite the flashpoint for fan discussion and discourse has been the casting of Papa Isidore as Severus Snape.
I thought he called
Now,
him
before I go
Popeye.
any further,
Popeye is Sidu.
I feel like 30% of being successful on YouTube is to have some type of accent, like
Or,
a British accent or whatever.
Yeah, probably, or these days have like a really African sounding name. It just gets hired right away. I assume.
I would like to make it very clear that this video is in no way meant to serve as a verdict for Papa Isidu's acting ability. Nor am I interested in using this video to grandstand to you all about where you should stand politically. I think there's enough videos like that out there. Instead, this video is going to be examining why the choice doesn't make sense from a writing perspective.
So I opened up Netflix to look for Bone Temple, and Netflix does me really well. It immediately says, "Hey, welcome back to Netflix. Would you like to watch Desperado?" And like, yes, I would. Oh wait, I'm not here for Desperado.
You don't feel that's racist at all? That they're like, oh, LD, he's Hispanic. Hey, you want to watch Desperado?
Maybe, but it's the right kind of racist. 'Cause I do like that movie quite a bit.
Oh, it's a great movie. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Dude,
I love that movie.
I love Once Upon a Time in Mexico or whatever.
Is that the first one? Or
No,
is that
that's the
pretty
one
low
with Johnny
budget?
Depp.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I love that one.
It's a good one too.
Dude, I was gonna show the girlfriend just the Johnny Depp scenes. I'm like, you don't have to watch the whole thing, but he's amazing in it. I didn't know he's 90% of that fucking movie. We ended up just having to watch the whole thing.
I mean, it's good. They're good stuff. I like them.
How the right-
Lady Postulot, I think you just mean he's coming off British.
Yeah, a little bit probably. Very, very British. But I found Bone Temple. I watch it after the stream.
It was better than the last movie.
It's a snob, a pretentious snob. You know,
Yeah,
British.
Yeah.
Acting may have to be warped to accommodate the new casting. So let's begin.
Yeah, but he plays a Mexican in the movie, though.
Yeah, he's really good at playing a Mexican.
Yeah.
But it's really interesting what happens in Mask of Zorro, where he plays a Mexican that turns into a Spaniard. He acts like a Spaniard. Mask of Zorro, fantastic. I love that movie. That's one of my favorite movies as a kid. Mask of Zorro. I love that movie.
Doesn't in Highlander, Sean Connery play a
Samurai.
a Spanish guy by way of Scotland who's
Yeah.
Egyptian or some crazy shit?
I thought that was kind of crazy. Like, okay, Sean Connery is playing a Spaniard, and he has a samurai sword. Like, he has a katana. Like, this is kind of crazy. Well, these bold choices that makes a legend. Let's see. Alex Halo looks at the $5 super chat. Thank you very much, Alex Halo. Appreciate it. Let me see here. Here we go. Yes. Alex Halo says, fate made Arthur Saber a girl, and at the ending of the series, she becomes a housewife. Medea becomes a housewife. That's interesting. I wouldn't really eat any
Tyler
meals she's
Perry?
never prepared. Different Medea.
Oh, different one. Does Tyler Perry know about it?
Very
That's
different
some-
Medea.
That's some trademark infringement shit, dude.
Very, very different.
How the hell did they get away with having Medea in this shit?
Fate is that Medea and Fate. That'd be really funny. Let's see. Becomes one after she comes back to life. Medea comes back to life. Medea becomes a housewife. That'd be really funny.
Now, when you change the race of a pre-established character, 5 things really matter. And those 5 things can, in turn, be transformed into a bit of a checklist for whether or not a specific character should be race swapped.
Wait,
Rule number 1.
Which a character should be racist. I think it's a good. Should a character be racist? When to make a character racist? Let's see. Oh, by the way, I looked up. So my favorite video game from the 1990s, I just got through that, would have to objectively be Super Mario World because I played that for hours.
Oh, for me, it would have to be one of the wrestling games on the 64.
Like Mayhem.
Yeah, that or what was it? No, the WWF one I think was No Mercy. Any of the games from the N64, they were fucking phenomenal. Played them just nonstop with my boys. It was great.
By the way, I'm still looking through the 1990 movies, so I have to get back to you on that one.
Race must not already perform symbolic work in the story. A good race swap for this first checkpoint would be a character whose identity is defined
damn it.
by choices,
Aluminum
beliefs.
fence or aluminum, whatever they say in Australia. He distracted me. What was the first rule?
I mean, see, isn't Medea earnest for black people? I mean, the
That's
first one
insulting
becomes
to Ernest.
Medea earnest.
Well, Medea is Tyler Perry's, or is that Medea? Tyler
Medea.
Perry's. Yeah.
Medea.
Rather than a character with marginalization or privilege already coded into their character DNA. To put this into
I
practical
missed
terms,
rule 1. What was rule 1?
There was a rule 1. Hold on. Let me see.
He's not making us angry enough to pay attention.
And see, Alex Haley's fighter as a Medea, the Greek mythology, breaks the rules of the Holy Grail of war and summons her own servant. So he's like a servant has a servant. Sasaki Kojiro in the assassin class. Wait a
That's where
minute.
Tyler
Kojiro,
Perry
wait a minute, that's
got the
Kojiro
idea?
Sasaki. She gets Kojiro Sasaki. That's pretty awesome, actually. That guy's a legend.
Medea from Greek mythology has a Japanese samurai.
Yeah, that's what Fate kind
Summon?
of does. Pretty crazy. Fate's pretty insane.
Alex, are you telling me Tyler Perry based his Medea movies on this myth from this Greek mythology? I need to check those movies out. I think I've underestimated them.
you think it's like just a funny comedy movie.
Yeah,
but
man.
actually it's way deeper than that.
I guess so.
It's a Greek tragedy dressed up as a comedy movie.
now when you change the race of a pre-established character, 5 things really matter. And those 5 things can, in turn, be transformed into a bit of a checklist for whether or not a specific character should be race swapped. Rule number 1. Race must not already perform symbolic work in the story.
What?
All right.
What? Hold on. Let's break that. Race must not already perform symbolic work in the study.
It's like if it's important. Basically, it's important. Like Snow White, from getting Rachel Zegler, who's like Hispanic or whatever, to play Snow White was kind of off because she's literally named Snow White because she's really, really white. Like she's hair is skin is white as snow. That's kind of one of the main parts of the poem.
Well, that's because she was born during a snowstorm.
Yeah, and her mom wished, I wish I had a child, and then boom.
And then her mom got killed by Dalmatians. Yeah.
And so there's 2 versions. One, the mom becomes jealous of her own kid and becomes the evil queen, or 2, she gets killed by Dalmatians, and then the king remarries, and that lady becomes the evil queen.
A good race swap
real
for this
quick, though.
first checkpoint.
On this whole race, okay. I'm already off. I'm off. I'm not on board already because I don't see what the relevance of having race play some symbolic role in the story has to do with whether or not you should race swap a character.
Well, I guess because if race is important, if it's important in the movie, then important to the story, then you probably shouldn't change that. Like if it's if it's a samurai versus like a knight, it'd be kind of weird if the samurai is played by a white guy or a black guy. Like that's not how it's supposed to work.
Yeah.
So I think it's like, okay, well, this guy is historically Japanese. It'd be kind of weird if we race swapped him noticeably.
would be a character who
I kind of like putting Keanu Reeves in 30 that was called 47 Samurai, or was it The Great Wall of China or something like that? I forgot which one it was.
What with
It was like
Matt Damon?
which is one Keanu Reeves was in? I know he was like in some weird Japanese story. Was it 47
well,
Ronin?
He's half Asian.
Sort
He has
of.
Asian in him. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 47 Ronin. This had Keanu Reeves in there, who's like noticeably very American. I'll say very American.
whose identity
Did you ever see his movie that he directed? Oh man, where like he had fighters fight. It was Underground for Money or whatever. He's like, you owe me a fight. He ended up
Sounds
being
awesome.
a bad guy in it. Oh, what was that movie
It's
called?
a little Afro Samurai. It's like if you're watching Afro Samurai and you cast a white guy, it'd be kind of weird, right? This white guy with like a blonde afro.
Or like I don't know, you take someone like Snake Eyes, right, and you swap them with an Asian person because you don't think a white person should,
Be a ninja.
play him. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that.
It kind of did that, and with the Iron Fist, where he's supposed to be white because he's supposed to be like a fish out of water, like a guy in a different culture. But because it's martial arts, right? It's like, oh, well, if it's martial arts, he has to be Asian. So they made him Asian, I think, for a while.
Well, yeah, in the Netflix show, because Netflix does everything so well with the superheroes, I think they gave all his power to an Asian chick. The Keanu
Oh, yeah, I
Reeves
think
movie was
they did.
Man of Tai Chi. It was pretty good.
He was in Man of Tai Chi, and he was in 47 Ronin. Now the
Well,
Man of Tai Chi,
he directed that one though, Man of Tai Chi.
I think Man of Tai Chi did so well that they could get him for really cheap for John Wick. So there would be no John Wick for a minute without Man of Tai Chi, because before that movie landed, like we could never get Keanu Reeves, and that movie landed, and the results came in, and like, you know what? I think we can get Keanu Reeves. I think we can afford him now, and they could, and the legend was made.
is defined by choices, beliefs, or roles, rather than a character with marginalization or privilege already coded into their
This really feels like a video from like 2000, like the last
Yeah.
generation. If it's very nostalgic.
character DNA. To put this into practical terms, a character like T'Challa, the Black Panther from Marvel Comics or the MCU, should always be black. This is because one of the very themes of this character
I beg to differ. I would want to see him being played by Ryan Gosling.
Yeah, because just to say that because Wakanda is in Africa, he has to be black is
He can be
dismissive.
South African.
Yeah, dismissive of all the white people who have lived there for so long.
Yeah, native, you could say.
Yeah, like that darn Kite.
Wouldn't that be kind of a cool plot point if it's like, okay, who's the next king of Wakanda? And it's a South African white guy. That could be interesting.
is that he is the ruler of an African nation that was never
That person says, no, Danny got replaced with a Chinese boy as the Iron Fist. Good on Marvel for perpetuating race. Yeah, I think that's from the comics though, right? I'm not sure if that was in the TV show, but that was from the comics.
Yeah,
Where because the new woke era arrived, and like, oh, this is Iron Fist is about martial arts, so it can't be a white guy.
right.
Martial arts, that's Asian stuff. So he's Chinese now.
And yet they had a problem with the yellow Power Ranger being Asian. Make up your
Yeah.
mind.
It's like, how come it's like rules for thee, but not for me?
colonized. His story
I have to say that making the Asian Power Ranger yellow made it very memorable. I know exactly which character she is. All right, even with the mask on.
stories often grapple with complex and rich
That was
themes
never
of
colonized.
colonization,
They were
the
colonizers.
responsibility of power through the
They were fucking they literally colonized all these different tribes until they just gave up. They're like, well, we have conquered enough. And it has the audacity to be like, oh, you colonizer. Like, bitch, I'm as
That's
much of
enough.
a colonizer as you.
That's enough for the day. I think we got enough colonies here. It's a
context of African diaspora, and whether his nation, or more importantly, he as a black man, should be doing more to help those he sees as his people. His stories often position him as a
they can make it like an Obama story where you think he's going to do that, but he doesn't.
So
At
like
all.
his
symbol of
presidency.
black
Yeah, like his presidency, where you think he's going to help black people, but really helps gay people for mysterious reasons.
pride, black power, and of resilience.
And it's definitely not because he was secretly gay and Michelle Obama is his beard.
Changing his race would have
Wait, hold
massive
on, though.
ramifications.
The everything he just said, it really applies to African Americans, right? The Africans, Black Africans in Africa, have an entirely different mindset to a lot of that versus African Americans.
Yeah,
you understand what
it's
I'm
very
saying?
different. Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
different. Very, very different.
But just about every aspect of his stories and his struggles as a character. Rule 2. The swap should add thematic weight, not overwrite it. Now, a successful swap would deepen.
Let's see. Alex said that 10 cheers Leslie since Medea cheated and summoned her own Medea. Coach Sasaki technically doesn't count as the official servant. So if you kill him, it makes it possible to summon another assassin servant in Route 1. So it ends having 9 servants in war. That's pretty interesting. Pretty
Wait, real
crazy
quick.
too.
Is winning local wars colonizing? If I take over, if America takes over Canada, is that not colonized? Is it not colonizing if they're real close to you? What's the distance when it becomes colonizing to take over another country?
I assume
How
it's
far
like
do they have to be from you?
it has to be different. It has to be a different culture, and then you colonize it by building a colony there and start
Yeah, all
assimilating
those
people.
tribes had different traditions and everything. That's why they fought. That's why they fought. If they weren't different, they wouldn't have fought.
Yeah, let's see.
An existing theme and reinforce what the character already represents. A failed swap would instead introduce a new symbolic axis that competes with the original story, and in doing so, force the narrative to answer questions it was never really designed to ask. An example of
You
this
read
would
my
be
mind.
Professor X from Marvel's X-Men. See, Xavier represents moral restraint and faith in institutions, while Magneto represents kind of retaliation against oppression. Their dynamic works because the
No,
audience
I'm
can
saying
weigh two
Canada
competing-
is different. Chad, don't get me started this morning.
Let's see.
I was using, and I know no one cares about Canada. I was just using it as an example.
Canada's very different from the US, yeah.
philosophy.
Let's see. Like we could make colonies in Canada.
Xavier represents moral
Just full of McDonald's and Burger Kings and stuff.
restraint and faith in institutions, while Magneto represents kind of retaliation against oppression.
I don't know if that's true because
Wait,
his
what?
original Magneto's a retaliation against oppression. I
No.
don't know if that's true. His thing, I guess maybe he became that, but his whole thing was like, we're better than you humans, and we have the right to rule. That was Magneto's original goal, was that we are. I think they're actually called Homo superior. So he's like, yeah, we deserve to rule because humans are dumb. That was his original introduction, and then they turn him into like a Holocaust survivor, which makes you think that, oh, I'm fighting oppression, but he's not. He's like, I want to dominate the world. I'm gonna be the captain now. So Megathon Next Fighters says, I got it, Mad. You share a border, it's a conquest. If you don't, it's colonization.
No, that oh my god. Oh boy, that's not what I was saying. Somebody else said, what did they fucking say? Oh, is winning local wars colonization? And my point was, how far of a distance does the country that you go to take over and colonize have to be for it to qualify as colonization? If it doesn't, if they're next to you.
It's always conquest. Yeah, Alex, I looked at 10 cheers. By the way, LD, the reason the Yellow Ranger doesn't have a skirt with the pink Ranger is because the Japanese version, the show, the Yellow Ranger was a man. Yeah, I remember that being the case. At the original Super Sentai, they're all men, I think, except for the Pink Ranger.
Their dynamic works because the audience can weigh two competing philosophies. But if Professor X were race swapped into a group with a long history of subjugation, the thematic balance changes. The question stops being,
Why?
is
Because- wait,
restraint
hold on.
morally right?
So wait, you don't think that someone who is whatever the fuck is a part of a group that has historic oppression couldn't have the same ideals as Professor Xavier?
I guess it would add more baggage to his characters. What you're trying to say?
Well, no, it's not that. It sounds like he's saying that basically that black conservatives shouldn't exist. You get what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
they react to black conservatives. Like, how could you ever do this with this racist, well, because the ideology align with them or whatever, right? So to say that just because someone is from a group that was historically oppressed, there's no way that he could have the same ideology as Professor Xavier. That's not that's dumb. You're putting way too much weight on their race rather
Just because the
than their
character's black doesn't mean
individual.
just because the character's black doesn't mean it has to be all about oppression and racism and stuff.
And
Exactly.
becomes
Exactly.
who can afford restraint. In other words, the swap doesn't deepen the story's theme; it replaces it, breaking the philosophical symmetry between Xavier and Magneto.
No,
Rule three,
only if
the
only
character's
if
moral-
only if the only that only happens if you link ideology with race. If you have it so tied to where there's no way a black guy could ever be Professor Xavier because he couldn't think like that because the slaves.
Yeah, what if he's like, what if he's not one of those people? What if he's just kind of like he is successful, educated. He's kind of like the black guy from Reacher. Like he doesn't always talk about race and stuff. Like he just happens to be black. Is Reacher brings it up. It's like, oh yeah, obviously you have some issues with city life or whatever because you came over here with people who looked anything like you. Like, you never mentioned anything about that, Reacher. You kind of just like playing into a lot of words here, into a lot of assumptions here.
No, Hamilton, that wasn't the question that he's bringing up. He said that a person from a subjugated group could not play Professor Xavier.
Let's see. The question is whether putting in a black actor to play Xavier would inherently add a racial component to the character that exists.
That's not what he said though.
I guess it might if the race is relevant to the plot because
Right,
now he's black now, like it could change things a little bit.
I agree with, but that's not what he said though.
Let's see. Yeah. So I'm not really sure if this will work out the way he's explaining it. It kind of feels like there's some assumptions going on. Like
Man, I was here worried that there would be nothing for me to disagree with.
Yeah, I just feel like it's like there's some assumptions going on that because he would be black, it would have to like tie into his character, that it has to be he's going to talk about race or oppression or something like that. It's not like the racism isn't all that rampant in America.
Man, I'm
Moral
so
trajectory
hungry, but I don't want to stop.
should not become encoded with harmful stereotypes if the character is racist.
Wait, I'll pause it because I wasn't
Now, this
listening
can
to
be
him.
a
Damn
tricky
it.
rule too
It's Elon.
between Xavier and Magneto. Rule 3. The character's moral trajectory should not become encoded with harmful stereotypes.
Let's see. The character's moral trajectory should not become encoded with harmful stereotypes if the character is race swap. Well, yeah, that's impossible to do because Hollywood they're trying so hard not to be racist to become racist.
Well, and not to mention that things that are normal for that person of whatever race would do, they're going to be called stereotypes. Oh, well, so we would need the definition of what he thinks harmful stereotypes are.
If they make a black character, there's going to need to be some recognizable traits in there. Like
What
like
if
the
he's really
90s were good at
athletic?
this. The 90s were good. What are you going to do to make them? Now, I do think they should add in some funny stereotypes. I think that'd be pretty good. That would add to the story, I think.
Name
if
some
the
funny
character is race
stereotypes
swap.
for black people or Jewish, whichever one you choose. Go ahead.
Well, I do like the funny Mexican stereotypes with he has a gold tooth or he wears a sombrero. He's very lazy.
You
Has a
son
huge
of a
family.
bitch.
Has guns.
Now, this can be a tricky rule to fully understand, but I think a really good
No, it's
example
not.
for a
I get what
character
you're
who would
saying.
absolutely fail this rule exists in Star Wars. See, imagine race swapping a character like Anakin Skywalker. His story is about emotional instability, violent outbursts, and ultimately becoming one of the most infamous
So you're saying if they turn him black, that'd be racist. Is that where he's going with this?
villains in
Wait,
fiction.
what the fuck?
Even
I
if
don't
the swap
want to race swap anyone. What is going on with you guys?
All right, let's see here. Let's start from the top here.
Imagine race swapping a character like Anakin Skywalker. His story is about emotional instability, violent outbursts, and ultimately becoming one of the most infamous villains in fiction. Even if the swap was well intentioned, that
It really shouldn't have been about emotional instability and violent outbursts. It should have been like, it'd have been way cooler if he logically and coldly chose the dark side instead of being an
Right.
emotional man baby. I think that would hit a little bit harder.
kind
But
of
I
moral
don't. I don't see how his race has any impact on his character, though.
Well,
Why
he's
would race
saying here like
swapping?
they're gonna if they race swapped a character whose entire downfall to evil is based on emotional instability and rage, and they turn that character black, I'm pretty sure he's like, oh, that's gonna be a little bit racist.
No, it wouldn't.
Jittery.
If anything, if you could gender swap it, it'd be like, oh, of course, it's just an angry woman that gets out of control.
And becomes Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Risks unintentionally attaching negative stereotypes to the character's identity. Which
Wait, hold
is
on.
This is weird because then you can never have a black guy be angry.
Or a
That's the case,
villain.
right? Or a villain, yeah.
But it's okay to have those harmful stereotypes on to attach them to white people, though.
It kind of feels like that's the case where it's like, okay, well, obviously we know white people are civilized and cultured, and so it's okay to depict a white guy as emotionally unstable because we know they're not actually like that. But if you did it to a black guy, that'd be racist because apparently they're really like that in real life. So it'll be racist. That's why this whole thing about the stereotypes is kind of racist in of itself, because you're just admitting that it's okay to do this to white characters because we know it's like the inherent assumption is we know they're not actually like this, and we can't do this to XYZ minority character because they're actually like this in real life, so we can't really depict that. That's what their assumption is. Like if you made an Asian guy really good at math or really smart or something like that, like, oh, we can't do that's racist because we know they're like this in real life. That's the other part they don't want to say out loud as to why when they complain about that stuff.
You know, there's another thing too, and I noticed it in Daredevil especially when the Punisher was like killing and beating up killing all the cops or whatever. You know who he didn't kill? The women police. In fact, they kind of stopped existing when it was time for them to all get their asses whooped.
Weird, I want to be sexist. I want to be sexist. Let's see here, chat. Jester Kings the 5 says Power Rangers are kings of race swap for 30 years. Even for Power Rangers Samurai originally themed in a royal assassin Asian family, he made the lead Ranger white. It's pretty funny. Well, thank you much, Jester King. Appreciate it.
Ultimately, exactly what this rule is meant to avoid. Rule 4. The swap should not require systemic rewrites to avoid problems. If you have to change multiple other characters' races, or rewrite institutions, or reframe entire social dynamics, then the swap becomes invasive and shouldn't be done.
Now,
pretty solid example of this would be
one that
Katniss
actually
Everdeen.
makes sense.
Yeah. Like if you have to race swap and then you have to rewrite stuff because it doesn't make any sense, like it kind of breaks the world, then probably shouldn't do it. Probably not a good idea.
From the Hunger Games. Now, her character is tied very closely to the social structure of District 12, an impoverished coal mining community inspired by Appalachian culture. If you race swapped Katniss into a historically marginalized group, the story would suddenly raise questions about racial hierarchy within Panem. Avoiding those implications would require redesigning the demographics and politics of the entire world.
No,
Rule
why?
5.
Why?
I don't think it really would. It's just more like they're just oppressed. they're already oppressed. I don't think they need to restructure anything for that specific example.
So his whole thing is that it would bro. He has put so much weight on race that it changes the entire world that was built. That's insane, bro.
Let's see. I mean, some things could do that. If some race swaps would do that, if it's like if the race of the character is so heavily entrenched in the story that it's so important to it that that could be the case. I think what we're eventually getting at is that Snape is a very interesting character to turn black because he's
because of the hanging.
It's because of the hanging, and because James Potter is like I hate him for existing. And Harry Potter is like instinctively sees him and says, "Oh, that guy's stealing and is up to no good." He has greasy black hair, so I guess he has Jerry curl or something.
Oh man, he let his soul glow.
Yeah, if they really wanted to make him more like Snape, they should have given him Jerry curl instead of dreads.
Yeah,
that would have been perfect.
All the couches in the at the university has plastic on it
for no particular reason. Not because of a race or anything, the racist thing or anything. It's
the audience must still be able to read the character clearly. Now, this rule is quite simply pragmatic. If the swap forces the audience to constantly interpret race instead of character and turns every action...
We're really 5 minutes into the video. We're getting pretty deep in the rules already.
Yeah,
how many rules are there?
There's 5. We're at What the fuck is the rest of it? He's going to be talking about League of Shadow Legends or
It's
whatever. What VPN is he
10
about
minute,
to sell us?
10-minute ad.
Yeah.
Into a socio-political Rorschach test, and the character stops functioning as a narrative tool. Consider Sherlock Holmes.
All right, I'm on board.
Okay. All right. I'm aware of him.
I do like Guy Ritchie's version.
Him and
Holmes works
Nosferatu.
because he functions as an almost pure instrument of logic.
They don't say they're going to turn him black. They've done that. They've done like a black Sherlock Holmes.
Wait,
And I think they've done a black Moriarty or something like that too.
is he going to say that if they turn black, then they would have to lower his IQ?
I don't think that's where it's going, but I don't know at this point. I guess so far every example has been if they turn black, they're gonna have to come in with they're gonna have to talk about oppression or something like that. So far, it's been like the case in every single one of these.
Emotionally distant, socially abrasive, and obsessively analytical. But if Holmes were race swapped into a historically marginalized group,
Fucking
those
Christ.
same traits might start to be interpreted as alienation or social exclusion.
Dude,
rather
this
than
is
eccentric
this is
brilliance.
rule four, motherfucker. Because you just called it something else.
I don't know why that would be the case that he's analytical, that he's social alienation. I don't think so. Those are pretty universal with anybody. Like he's just a smart dude.
The audience stops simply reading Holmes the detective and begins reading Holmes through a racial lens.
No,
No,
that's
they-
you.
They've
That's
done this. I haven't read
you.
it. I think it's a book, but I haven't read it. But they have done there's a book that does this. It turns Sherlock Holmes and or Moriarty black.
Which makes the character's narrative function less clear.
No,
Now,
it
all
does-
of these individual
No, listen. When they race swap Kingpin, no one was like, "Well, great. Now I can only see him." through
And
this
now we have to talk about
racist
his,
lens."
we got to talk about his race and his oppression. No one mentioned oppression once. It was just he just did a really good job playing Kingpin.
examples to the rules that I've given you fail, one particular rule. But that doesn't necessarily preclude them from being race swapped. It's simply used as an illustration for the rule in question and demonstrates the difficulty each character would face if the decision was made to race swap them. But, with that in mind, I called Snape the worst possible choice for this kind of
Oh, now he's going to talk about Snape. Okay.
swap. So, let's now put him through these 5 rules to see just how accurate that statement is.
Oh, what is this?
Wait,
What?
Hold on.
This is terrible quality. What is this? I get blurring it out a little bit, but
Bro.
this is blurring out a lot.
All of this feels very early YouTube.
It does. It feels very nostalgic. I have to check when did this come out. But
Well, I
like
mean,
this
had to
guy
be
just
pretty
predict Black
recent.
Snape.
Yeah.
This guy predict Black Snape 10 years ago.
Also, say what you will about the trailer, or whatever, or the idea of it being race changed. Until you see the actual show, it's a little self-defeating to be like, oh, it
Oh, that's
failed.
true.
Well, how
Because
do you know?
the thumbnail says it fails all of them. So I guess technically speaking, we don't know if it does yet.
Yeah. And
Now
why
that,
Snape
we have a
fails
fr-
them. Wait,
I
why
mean,
all his 5 rules that were just one rule?
We kind of watched one girl kind of say that it was wrong because it essentially amounted to he's too handsome. Like Papa Yasidu's too handsome to be Snape. So what's this one?
framework for evaluating race swaps in storytelling. We can test it against the casting choice that sparked this discussion in the first place, Severus Snape. And once we apply these 5 rules, it becomes very clear why Snape was probably the worst possible character HBO could have chosen. So, the very first rule we established.
Wait, I love that the compliment for this guy. To this guy's credit, the video's organization makes sense. Yeah, he was able to do it in a linear sense. There wasn't a lot of flashbacks. It didn't start with, I bet you're wondering how I came up with rule 1. Well, we have to go to the beginning for that. You know what I mean?
Well, he did define his rules first, and then he's going to explain like how Snape fails
Yeah.
these rules.
It's
So in
also
racial
easy when you have 5 of them. You just go in order from 1 to 5.
Yeah, pretty easy.
character relies on us asking the question of whether or not Snape's race
Race must not already perform symbolic work within the story.
performs any symbolic function in the story. And the honest answer is no, it really doesn't. His character is defined by his guilt, his obsession, his
That's
bitterness,
what we.
his
That,
moral compromise.
His hook
that
nose.
is the same thing for all the other fucking characters that you talked about Anakin, Sherlock Holmes, and
It's really
yet
funny though, because the thing is, the 2 main traits for Snape in the book is that he has greasy black hair and a hook nose. Those are his 2 main traits.
oh,
and that
he was Jewish coded.
So Hey, speaking, I guess if you cast a white guy as Snape, that's race swapping. Because those are the two main traits of Snape. Okay, maybe three traits is that he wears black robes, he has long greasy black hair, and he has a hook nose. And Harry really dislikes his hook nose. Like he's really suspicious of it throughout the book.
This argument he's making right now, he's arguing against his own 5 rules.
Let's see.
And his supposed love for Lily. None of these motivations are tied to racial identity in the text, and so he actually clears this first checkpoint quite well. In fact,
So did all
it's
the other
interesting to note
characters
that
you
there are
talked
very
about, you fuck.
I just kind of realized how creepy it is that this professor that you hate, because Harry hates Snape a lot, was in your house cradling your dead mother when you were a baby. That is kind of creepy, right? Like a little bit.
How dead? Like how long has it been dead?
Maybe like in a few minutes.
No, that's normal. You got to carry it to the trash or whatever.
very few characters in
Trash.
Harry Potter who would have difficulty passing this point, which, at least to me, would seem to indicate that race swapping in this particular story should be pretty easy. But hold your horses, because there's still 4 more rules to check, and unfortunately,
I'm sorry, did the closed
that's when the
captioning
cracks
say
start to show in
snort?
this casting choice. Now, the next rule focused on
I think so. I think this is guessing what he's going to try to say.
thematic overrides. So we have to ask if the new
The swap should add thematic weight, not overwrite it.
casting deepens Snape's themes or overwrites them. Now, we've already established that Snape's themes and motivations are guilt, obsession, bitterness, moral ambiguity, and in a big picture sense, redemption. And when you swap his race, the focus does indeed stop being on these core motivations and themes, instead becoming about racial discrimination, systemic bias, and social marginalization. The key question at the heart of this character.
But they should have just, there's American school. Canonically, there's an American wizarding school in the world of Harry Potter. They should have done that because what do we really need another rendition of Harry Potter? We have the movies. How about we just have like a whole brand new story set in America?
It's set in the same universe. Yeah.
Yeah, set in the same universe. American school. What is it called again? I forgot what it was called. But there's an American wizarding
The
school.
better wizardry. It would automatically be better because it's America.
Yeah, obviously, and they're much larger budget. They had American flags everywhere. It'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. It's called Ilvermorny.
It's in
Shifts
Vermont.
from can a bitter man's
ILVERMORNY. That's what it's called.
Oh, okay.
Still do the right-
Sounds like a Vermont county or something.
And the 4 houses are Wampus, Horned Serpent, Thunderbird, and Puckwidgee.
Oh,
Thing
I want to
to-
know what Wampus is.
Wampus apparently is like their Gryffindor. Like it's the red house.
Okay.
The body of the warriors. So that's the warrior house. And Horned Serpent is the mind of the erudites. The Thunderbird is the soul of the adventurers, and Puckwidgee is the heart of the healers. So there you go.
I got to be honest. I've never seen a single frame of any of the movies, and I've never read any of the books.
Let's see.
Is Snape being treated unfairly because of his race? And I mean, this can be seen in practical examples like the Golden Trio always suspecting Snape of wrongdoing without any definitive proof, or the way Dumbledore treats Snape during Snape's, I guess, indentured servitude, which could honestly be a
first of
whole
all,
video on its own.
Real quick.
So Snape absolutely fails rules.
No, because no, it does not. Because you're gonna be like, oh, it's racial profiling. No, it's criminal profiling. That's what I did when I was a cop.
It's not racial, it's criminal.
Okay, is the individual black? Check. Does the individual have 20-inch rims on his car? Check.
Obviously a criminal.
Yeah, that's not racist. That is criminal profiling.
They're going by patterns, okay, not by skin color.
But importantly, even if a character fails this rule, a story could still work. It wouldn't be ideal, but could be serviceable.
For you.
Which brings us to Rule 3. Rule 3, the core question that needs to be addressed is whether the character's moral arc risks encoding harmful stereotypes if
Wait, real
there's
quick.
change. So, Snape's
If
arc
that was
includes him joining the
this is the core question, why isn't it rule number 1? Why isn't it the
And because it's in the middle? If you want to put in the middle?
Oh, I guess Corey, yeah, that makes sense.
Let's see.
Death Eaters, his obsession with Lily, his abusive relationship with his students, and just his general bitterness and resentment. If these traits become attached to a historically marginalized race, then they can end up unintentionally echoing negative
quick, though.
stereotypes about instability, jealousy, and
You know who else is a historically marginalized race? White people.
It is true, especially in South Africa.
Yeah, I mean, just if we're gonna use historically marginalized, all humans come from they were all marginalized at some point by someone. My guy.
You know what's interesting? And what's also interesting is that Dumbledore is gay, and it never kind of him being gay never really affected the storyline at all. He didn't have to go along, like he didn't go on and on and on about how his boyfriend didn't pump his butt last night or something like that. Like it was like he is gay, but it never really affects the story. I mean, he didn't need to mention it or anything like that. It wasn't all that important. You could have Black Snape and being black or being historically marginalized doesn't really have to come up at all. It's a wizarding school. Let's see.
integration. Even if unintended, the optics immediately become complicated. A character like Snape, whose defining traits include bitterness, obsession, and moral failure, is an extremely risky candidate for a race swap. But it's at Rule 4 where Snape truly falls apart. Rule 4 asks if the swap forces the story to rewrite the surrounding characters,
Nope,
social dynamics, or
shouldn't.
plot points.
Why
And
would
Snape
it?
fails this hard. Snape and the Marauders attended Hogwarts during the 70s, where the Marauders constantly bullied Snape during their school years. This is quite important because the 70s was a hotbed of racial tension in the United States and throughout the
Motherfucker.
world. But in the United States specifically, it was an incredibly important decade for the civil rights movement. The fight for equality marks the 1970s as an
Wait,
incredibly
hold on, hold
transitional
on.
period for
Yeah, but
America.
this is Britain. This is in
on.
Britain though.
Hold on, wait. Hold on. When did MLK die?
I don't know.
1968. But no, let's keep talking about the 70s.
English motherfucker, do you speak Severus Snape? Yeah, dude. Severus, like, if they have like Snape should look like Jules from Pulp Fiction, because he has that Jerry curl and stuff like that in that one a little bit. I think
Yeah.
that's what he should look like. So he can have that black greasy hair. That's kind of his main traits in the book.
Fucking
and the world.
Davinia.
In
This
America,
guy's soy
the abolishment of
explaining
Jim Crow legislation
basic history.
had led to a tumultuous period as people of color fought for their rights to be seen as truly equal, and where racism was further weaponized to try and prevent this in a large swath of America. Now, you might be asking, why am I using America specifically
Yeah.
instead
why?
of South Africa or more to the point, England?
Also,
Where the
Jim
That's
Crow-
where the story takes place, England. Yeah.
Yeah,
story
real
is
quick,
set,
Jim
but that's
Crow ended
because
before the 70s as well. But go on though.
a large portion of the audience who will be watching the HBO series is going to be American. And whether you like it or not, our media
That
is
doesn't
framed
make
through
them.
the
That doesn't make the characters American now, does it?
Do people in England still think slavery is a thing, or like this? It's still a civil rights movement or something? It's not. Slavery. We don't have slavery here. Okay, just in case you're from England, we don't have slavery here, and the racism is not. It's like the whole racist thing is really, kind of flanderized by the media. It's not really too much of a thing.
I think it has been on the rise, unlike what we had in the 90s and early 2000s.
Yeah, 90s is almost gone, but then things happen, and now it's on the rise again.
the lens of an American viewpoint. So with all that in mind, this is not a good backdrop to have for a character who was hung beneath a tree during that time.
Hey, James, remember when we hung that black kid by a tree? Yeah, that was awesome.
You know how the UK was famous for in the 70s hanging black wizards?
Black wizards. Yeah, well, it's that would give like the Auras a whole new perspective, because their whole like job is hunting down dark wizards, and Snape is a dark wizard, literally now. But he was a dark wizard. He was part of the Death Eaters. He was evil. He was racist. Snape was racist against half bloods or whatever. Like he was racist against Muggle-born wizards. Like he was on Voldemort's side.
And what if
More than
they
that.
race swap Muggaborns or whatever?
I did see that so a lot of the bad guys are from Slytherin, and I think they race swapped some Slytherin guys too to be more minority looking.
This casting and this time period now forces us to view the Marauders through a very different lens. In the scene where
No, it
James
doesn't.
levitates Snape by his ankle under said tree, Lily asks
Wait,
why he
levitate by
bullies
his
Snape
ankle?
so much, and his response,
Yeah, James like,
thought
I
he-
don't like him.
I thought they were hanging him in the tree, not levitating him by his ankle.
Yeah, they're levitating by his ankles beneath a tree. I'd say.
That's
They don't hang
not
him by a tree.
hanging.
well, he responds with,
Leave him alone, Lily repeated. She was looking at James with every sign of great dislike. What's he done to you? Well, said James, appearing to deliberate the point. It's more the fact that he exists.
Yeah, people couldn't focus on this point, but the reality is Snape was a dick also. Like, he was a dick back to James as well, which is why they like to pick on each other. That's why he's like, I hate him for existing because he's a dick. Like, there's a whole story where Snape tried to get all of them in trouble by going to the Whomping Willow, and then Sirius Black was like, "Hey, go to the Whomping Willow," and then with the hopes that Snape would go to the Whomping Willow and run into Lupin while he transformed into a werewolf, and then Lupin would kill him.
This, if you know what I mean.
Now, in the books and the movies, where the racial overtones weren't present, this was a really bad indictment of James's character. One that has continued to influence the fandom into thinking that he's a bad person to this day. So now, with Papa Isidu's casting, this line...
Yeah, but look, if they made James also black, then it'd be black on black crime and no one would care.
Gets thrust
Well, no,
right
because
into the
that was
forefront.
his internalized racism that caused him to hang him. But
His internalized racism.
real quick though, because again, I know nothing on Harry Potter. Is Snape some type of? Because I know, like in Dragon Age, right? People are like, don't trust these fucking these wizards. I forgot what they call the what?
Oh, the mages, yeah.
Yeah. Don't trust the mages. They're weird as shit, but we're gonna keep them under control, right? Is he some type of? Is he part of some type of thing that is looked at in the same way? Like, oh no. I didn't mean it's a problem. He exists because of his race. It's because of what he is, like his power or whatever. You know what I mean?
I guess he doesn't like him because he's Snape. That's it. He doesn't like him specifically. They hate each other. So Lady Fazlett says, one, that was the South, and two, it's an extremely small but highly publicized series of incidents. It was not everywhere. Yeah, it wasn't really everywhere.
Of modern socio-political tension. As the audience is going to have to grapple with the question, was James Potter bullying Severus Snape because James Potter was a racist?
No.
It would require massive rewrites to Snape and the
it
Marauders'
wouldn't.
history to make it be seen otherwise.
If that's going to be the case, I can't wait for all the memes with this version of James Potter with MAGA hats on him. you know they'll make them.
You know what? Rather than changing all this other bullshit, why don't you just change that line from the problem is that he exists? Why don't you just change that dialogue if you're that concerned about it? That feels like an easier fix than like, no. Now we have to change everything. Because you're going to change it so much that you're going to end up making him the hero.
And it's changed the line to, it's more of like he exists to, because he's a dick.
Yeah, I mean, you think Snape is the bad guy? Did you know his mom was killed by wizard Dalmatians?
And they kind of forget the part after this that happens, which is they let Snape down because of Lily. And then Snape calls Lily the M word for, mudblood, which is basically the N word, but for half-breed wizards, essentially, like muggle-born wizards. So Snape is racist. Like, Snape is really racist, and then he essentially joins the wizard version of the KKK after that to help hunt down half-breed wizards and to elevate pureblood wizards into power.
Wait.
Like, it's a very interesting dynamic we're going to get with Black Snape.
Oh, so you're saying that he actually kind of is the hero in this? What do you?
Because he joins the KKK.
You're starting to sell me on this whole Harry Potter shit.
Snape just belts out the M word against Lily because she qualifies, and then he goes to join Voldemort and his version of the Wizard KKK to slaughter and take down all the Muggle-born wizards and elevate pure bloods to power.
Then, there's the whole unrequited love and being a Death Eater, which only serves to further push racial stereotypes and stigmatizations.
I don't see how that pushes racial stereotypes because I don't think there are a lot of black people join the KKK. I'm not really
Also,
sure.
I don't know what the fuck a Death Eater is. So why would I find that racist?
Mudblood with the heart. Well, see, Death Eaters began as like a social club, and then it kind of evolved into a racist thing.
Wait, is one of the problems the 1% rule? Like 1% of your blood, if it comes out to be Death Eater or whatever the fuck. I don't know. I don't know all these fucking terms he's using, but
we usually have a tattoo on your arm that signifies you're a Death Eater.
Ultimately, it proves that race swapping Snape is not a self-contained change and has massive ramifications for the story as a whole. Which brings us to Rule 5. Rule 5 asks, can the audience still read Snape clearly? Snape originally
You
functions
can't.
as a
No,
narrative misdirect. He's
Okay.
a morally great character.
It's also, yeah, a lot of times they suspect Snape, but it's not really him doing the bad stuff. It's someone else doing the bad stuff. So it's always going to be, every book is going to be, I bet Snape's behind this. Actually, he isn't.
You know who can't read the character correctly if they race swap? Race obsessed people like you. People
Yeah,
who
like this,
cannot help but see everything through that lens.
Let's see. Megathon these fighter chats is a okay. LD Muggle-born non half-breed. They are witches and wizards that have both non-magical parents. It's like Muggle-born wizards. So like they're mud blood.
But
half-breeds, I think, are half-breeds.
the
Like
point is-
Hagrid.
The point is though that they're lesser.
Exactly.
They're not as good.
I see them as lesser. So like,
Yeah, because their parents suck.
He joined, so he does join the wizarding version of the KKK, and helps Voldemort bring about a new world of wizard purity. That's the goal of it anyway.
Who is a constant red herring villain. And as such, readers are constantly forced to ask the question, is Snape good or evil? But the swap introduces another interpretive layer. That being, is Snape being unfairly suspected because of prejudice? Now the audience isn't just analyzing Snape's actions.
I didn't think that.
They're analyzing the social meaning behind those actions. And that just weakens...
And it's Alexander the Extenders is Yu-Gi-Oh! GX also has schools in multiple nations as well, and they had an event trying to bring some students.
They were doing busing?
Schools of Jaden's, including a black guy from America with a gun dual an Australian with a pet alligator, and the school gets teleported into another dimension by Ubel. How come the student Australian have like a pet kangaroo? That's pretty Australian.
Right. So they kind of treated like busing in Boston in the I believe this was the 70s, or no, I think it may have been later, but where they bus the inner city school kids to the nicer schools. They did that, but with wizards and shit.
Maybe that could be an interesting dilemma.
the mystery surrounding the character. When you apply these 5 rules, the problem becomes very obvious. Snape doesn't just fail one of them, he fails almost all of them.
No, you
And he's not the only one. Ron is a character defined by economic inequality and jealousy. Race swapping him would lead to these core themes embodying racial stereotypes, and his
That'd be weird too. No, wait, it'd be weirder than that because Ron is not just poor. They're poor. Look, if they're going to race swap the Weasleys, it would be into Mexicans because they're poor because they have a lot of family members, like a ton of kids. But really, the thing is about the Weasleys, they're also purebloods. So, there just happen to be purebloods who don't really like the Death Eater people, but they're purebloods, so they would technically be A-okay with Voldemort and Snape.
Character journey
Did
and
the
large
Weasleys? They never got to move on up to the east side.
Not yet. Oh, they did a little bit because they won a contest, but they live in a huge house too. Like they have like the perfect area. They just happen to be kind of poor because they have a lot of kids, but they live in like this wide farmland, an enormous house. Like it's pretty good.
Where the beans
would then be seen through the lens
grill. Yeah.
They should.
Of social prejudice. Likewise, Sirius Black would be a poor choice as his character's themes are wrongful conviction, anger, and recklessness. When you race swap Sirius into a historically marginalized group, then these characteristics take on a racial discrimination edge.
No,
as his story would instead become...
So can we never have like a black guy who's been wrongfully convicted in the story?
You mean like the hurricane? But that was actually a true story. But it seems as though he's saying that at no point can you have a person from a historically marginalized group have bad traits.
Or have bad
Meaning
things
they're
happen to them?
Mary Sue's. They have to be Mary Sue's.
That's what it seems like. Like you can't, that you have to you have to treat them differently.
About social commentary on the justice system. Then Harry himself would actually also be one of the worst swaps possible. His treatment at the hands of the Dursleys would take on a racial edge, and if you were...
Oh, the thing is, Aunt Petunia would have to be black then, because Aunt Petunia is the sister of Lily Potter. So if he's like black, then his parents are probably also gonna be black. So then Petunia, at the very least, will also have to be black. So it would be kind of like Petunia being horrible to Harry Potter.
To race swap the Dursleys to try and correct that, then the dynamic with the Dursleys has the potential to embody racial stereotypes of non-Western households. His mistreatment at the Dursleys would become a poor reflection on marginalized upbringing and the stereotypes that would accompany that new lens. which
Wait,
raises the obvious.
What is non-Western household? What does that mean?
I don't know. Because Petunia and Vernon live in like the suburbs, like very upper class suburbs.
But if you switch them,
the
it
goal
wouldn't
was
work because now they have to live in huts.
I don't know. Well, I mean, Harry Potter he lives in the house, but he's relegated to, like underneath the stairs.
Introduce more diversity into the story.
Let's see. Alex Heatherton Shears is also Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, the evil teacher, is in the show is named Thelonious Viper in the English version and Professor Cobra in the Japanese version. Isn't that Crowler? Like, isn't the evil one Crowler?
I feel like
Were they pitching
Alex
on
Halo is
marginalized
watching an
upper-
old episode of Morning Nonsense.
Just tossing in cheers. Insane.
And the stereotypes that would accompany that new lens, which raises the obvious question: if the goal was to introduce more diversity into the story, were there better characters HBO could have chosen?
Like, they did a pretty good job in the movies. They kind of they made most students minorities, and like the only white kids are like Harry and Hermione and Ron. Better choices.
So I see your theme today was
And the answer-
people fixing.
Yeah, it's totally planned out and everything.
Yes. I can think of 3 characters that would have been infinitely better choices to race swap in the new reboot if the production wanted to diversify the cast without impacting the writing. And the first is Lupin. Lupin's story is already about stigma, fear, and internalized.
Lupin turns into a werewolf, so be a black guy who turns into a werewolf. Okay.
Wow.
He represents.
Also, he's really poor, and he's really he's poor and he's discriminated against by the Ministry of Magic because he's a werewolf.
The good man broken by a society that fears.
Wait,
He's
I'm sorry. That is all the qualifications that he used for why you don't want to race swap the other characters.
Yeah, we're gonna get I guess because he already has the discrimination thing going on, you can just race swap him, and it'll still be the same discrimination story.
As a character by love, restraint, and moral clarity. Adding a racial lens via his casting could deepen the metaphor of inherited stigma, while adding texture to his self-loathing and withdrawal. It could offer an interesting opportunity to strengthen the tragedy of a man who knows he's good. It believes he has to stay small. But that doesn't mean he's
so it means more if they're black?
Like it says, it could possibly enhance it if he was black or something, because it's
then you feel
it's gonna be
doubly
more discrimination.
Yeah, and you feel double bad for him.
perfect choice. See, you would run the risk of stacking metaphors, as lycanthropy
You know what it
was
reminds
already...
me of? 22 Jump Street, when he's like, "Oh, the victim is black." It's like that makes me care. We care so much more. Like I wouldn't give a shit if it was some cracker. Wouldn't even care. But since it's a black victim, that's what this is. Like that's what he said. He said, "I would care more if this character was black. It would make him better."
I think so. Yeah, it would make it better if he was black, because then we have because as we all know, every black person in America is just outcast. Like they're relegated to like the ghettos. Because as far as leftists in America know, all black people live in ghettos, to the point where if you are a black person and you do not act like you're from the ghetto, you're acting white or you're not acting black enough. That's kind of where they are. Let's see. Alex Heatherton Cheers says Professor Crowler is just French. It's just an asshole.
Wait, so he's not even white?
This is a villain, though. He's a villain. And wants to get rid of Jaden. Then later wants to force Jaden to stay instead of letting him graduate. It's pretty funny. But he's a villain. I mean, he's French. He has to be the villain.
Used as a stand-in for HIV, which,
Wait, hold
runs
on,
the
hold
risk
on.
of turning
Where
Lupin
did
into...
HIV come? Wait, what?
So author compared Lupin's like other to HIV. So Lupin would be gay. Like Lupin would be more gay. Like he would more of like a gay parallel rather than
Wait.
him being a black guy.
Is he saying Lupin would be better choice to be race swapped?
Yeah, he's saying that if we could do it, because he has a discrimination thing with the lycanthropy.
Right. But because AIDS, Africa and all that, would that not make people look more at the race part of it rather than the character part of it?
Probably, yeah. Because
what the
why'd you race swap Lupin?
His examples on how to fix it breaks all of his fucking made up bullshit rules.
I think so too. This is why you shouldn't really race swap unless you have a really good reason to. Let's see.
symbol rather than a person. And the consequence is that it could unintentionally frame his good nature as exceptional rather than normal. Now, Lupin can work, but only if the adaptation treats him with the same quiet dignity from the books. rather than explanatory emphasis. He would have to remain a man first and a metaphor second. Now, a much better choice would be our second option, Albus Dumbledore.
That's true.
See,
for
Dumbledore's
that's
race
true
is
regardless of their race, dummy. You know, better written characters will be better than poor written characters.
Dumbledore though is gay. Like he's already like a little bit different. That's kind of the reason I brought him up earlier though, is that he is gay, but it doesn't really make a difference to the story. Like this doesn't come into play at all.
largely irrelevant to his narrative function. His authority comes from wisdom, not lineage. His moral ambiguity is philosophical, not instinctual, and his arc is about power, restraint,
So I guess replace him with Morgan Freeman.
and regret. Crucially, he's not coded as impulsive, violent, or jealous, and his failures are strategic, not necessarily emotional. Now, this avoids
I'm sorry.
criminalization
He
stereotypes.
strategized to fail.
I guess I haven't finished all the books yet. Let's see.
Instability tropes, and moral suspicion being racialized. And yes, I hear you. You're currently thinking to yourself, didn't Dumbledore treat Harry poorly, raising him like a pig for slaughter? Wouldn't that give him the same morally grey qualities as a character like Snape?
Wait,
And
how is that
yes,
morally great
Dumbledore
to
is
raise
somewhat
him like
morally
that?
grey in how he chooses to fight for good. But
Sounds pretty bad. But I think that's kind of what happens with Dumbledore. Like he raises Harry, he helps set up Harry Potter's life, knowing that Harry Potter will have to fight Voldemort one day because neither can live while neither one can survive while the other one lives, or something like that.
Oh,
that
it's,
moral
it's
uncertainty is
okay that my dad beat me growing up because that made me stronger. He's a good
Yeah.
man.
Yeah, I did the right thing. Got you stronger, like tempered you, like iron.
purely intellectual. It's not social. His actions are judged by history and the fans of the series, not the characters or society in the present. Dumbledore is honestly one of the cleanest race swap candidates in the series. However, I believe that the best race swap is one that's already been done, and that's the character of Hermione. She's a character who is already
They really want to make Hermione black. Like Black Hermione has been a thing for years. Like they really want to make Hermione black.
representative of social prejudice in the story, and so changing her race to one that is historically marginalized in the real world only deepens her thematic relevance, without needing to directly address the historical marginalization in the story itself. Similar to Lupin, it can be used more metaphorically. It would be a little more overt in the series, but that's not a narrative-destroying change like Snape is. Now here's the thing. Diversity in adaptation isn't inherently a problem, but like every storytelling decision, it has to respect the structure of the story itself. And once you apply even a basic writing framework, it becomes clear that Snape wasn't just a questionable choice. He was probably the worst possible one. But hey, I suppose
That is true. Like he probably was the worst one because
Yeah.
all the things that Snape comes with.
Who the fuck
know-
recommended this asshole?
I found it. Let me see here. But
Oh yeah, that's
all
right.
right,
You did, but
Chad.
somebody did recommend it.
All right, Chad. All right. Let's go, Chad. Let's go. Let's see. All right, we reached the end of the stream. So, and we
Man,
did
that
reach
dude got me all
Pillarman.
riled up.
We did reach Pillarman. So, we're gonna go ahead and transition over to stream memes with Pillarman. So here we go, Chad. Thank you much, everyone. So, lower your volume or raise your volume, whatever you
shit.
prefer. And Pillarman in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ay, 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 ay.
Oh yes, best chat. By the way, I thought Hutzel was a mod, but he wasn't apparently. So I've now dubbed 2 mods this stream.
What do you mean mods?
Moderators.
Wait,
Let's
what
see.
the fuck? You haven't even made. Oh, whatever. It's not even worth the fight.
Let's see. Good morning, payday. Oh, good thing, it's payday. Could a vampire policeman enter my house if they had a warrant? No, because you would have to invite them in. I mean, technically speaking, they could enter your house if you invite them in, but the warrant does not give anyone authority over your house magic wise. I don't think it gives them the right to come in.
Yeah,
To the law, but there's no invitation from you involved yet.
yeah, they would have to still glimmer you or whatever.
Yeah, so you would have to invite them in still. Alex after 10 years. Also, Kaiba gave Crowler a promotion to the head of the duel school and fired the last guy because he let kids fight a group of villains for him.
Is that Harry Potter related?
I don't think it's like Yu-Gi-Oh related. I think it's his name is literally one letter different. I mean, I would if he typed in the chat. Let's see. I'm at a bar and showed it to a full table of 7, and they all immediately started arguing loudly. All right. What is this? My husband and his work buddies have been arguing about this photo for an hour. Okay, so what is this? Like, there's no actual. Okay, so like, there's.
Hold on.
Okay, A is it's magnets. What? Okay, what is this? No, it's too early for this stuff.
Wait, no, hold on. Wait, what? I don't even get it. What? That's not even how the.
That's not how. Like, where does the slopes come from?
Right. What does any of this mean?
Do I insert the slope into the hypothetical track here, or what's going on?
When they say argue about it, do they mean arguing about the stupidity of it, the level of incomprehensible fucking drawing? I don't understand what's happening here.
Me neither. Like, what's going on? Oh, it's a portal meme.
What?
Okay, so because they maintain the velocity, I feel like they would just plop out. I'm not sure if they'll launch because they're not going anywhere. The trolley is. It's a creature battling, because I remember in the game you can have like something fall on you with a portal on it, and you don't really gain any speed. So I think it'll just be A. It's a creature battling games. Nexomon, Digimon, Pal World, No Man's Sky for some reason. Nintendo. Oh, yeah, because they patented the like any kind of mechanic where you battle creatures together. They patented it for a while. And you really couldn't do much. Let's see. So I think everyone had to get rid of that for a little bit. But I think it got fixed. Like, I feel like it got fixed or something. All right, there we go. When the plane is about to take off and you hear the guy next to you say, he invented a car that runs on water instead of gas.
What? That's okay. Moving on.
Let's see.
What
No man
relevance
can kill
does that
me.
have to fly? It doesn't matter what the car takes as fuel. If you're going across an ocean, it would be better to fly.
Probably would be.
Chad has pissed me off in the memes already.
It's ma'am.
Okay.
And he stabs him, and then he's fine because he's still a man. My hair is bacon. Your argument is invalid. At first, Cookie Monster was confused why he was sent to hell by God, but then he realized that sinners had all been turned into cookies. So he wasn't being punished; he was the punishment.
Yeah, but cookies are a sometimes snack.
Magical bacon horse. I guess it is like more like bacon. And there's Amazing Digital Circus, and there's more Amazing Digital Circus. What's this? Sad Jester Girl can fit into any scenario change your mind. Pretty much, I would like to say. Superman and Supergirl, and I guess Baruto. The Rule 63 project, Luke Skywalker. What is Rule 63? Is that gender swapped? I am a Jedi.
Wait, what was the rule number?
63.
Isn't that the one where anything you can think of is already been made into a sex thing on the internet?
That's Rule 34, I think. Rule 63, I think, is gender swapping. You can't do that. Shoot her. Oh, something. I like this part where he's like, okay, slow down. don't look like you're late. Let's see. And prequel fans hiding from the OT elitists in 2005. I'm exiled. I must go. Failed. I have. Prequel fans in 2015. At least we
Oh.
reveal ourselves to the Jedi. At least, at last, you will have a revenge.
Sorry, I was thinking Rule 34. 63 is a gender swap thing.
That's what it seems like. Are you crying from the Revenge of the Sith? Newt Gunray was an easily manipulated character who was betrayed by Palpatine and just wanted the war to end already. And Anakin cuts him down while he's pleading for his life. And Newt Gunray is a very tragic character. It's a Bugs Bunny Superman and like a girl Batman, I guess. It's we should take the Bikini Bottom and push it somewhere else. That's the plot to Fantastic Four. That's the solution. What is that? It's a bird, a plane, it's Superman. Boom, 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 boom. And when you actually bring your snowman with you to Mustafar, you were supposed to be the frozen one. Sidious arriving at Mandalore, Obi-Wan leaving Mustafar. The moment you realize that when Anakin killed all the Separatist leaders on Mustafar, that all battle droids would get decommissioned. Lie down, try not to Roger a lot. Let's see. An employee at a Mustafar mining facility seeing two guys having a lightsaber battle in the middle of his night shift. That goes to a mining area, so there's like workers there and stuff. What's the matter over here? What matters is our plan, Mr. UPS man? It's just woke. Is Ara the guillotine. Leave him. But we'll never make it. His fate will be the same as ours. Dies on Death Star, dies on Death Star, dies on the Death Star. That's true.
Hold on, Palpatine came back somehow though.
He died, but he came back. He had died before, but he technically did die. Let's see. Big red flags. Party, nice and party, soft wieners. Party, nice and soft. Pizzas are on the way. They're going to be amazing. And there's the true Riddler, one of the truest Riddlers ever. Alrighty then. And what everyone thinks black people do, what they actually do. Lindsay, how dare you stand where he stood? Dumbledore has stood everywhere in this damn school. How do you want me? How do we want to do? Float?
That's the meme of the day so far.
Snape finding James's body. Yes, very sad. Anyway, let's see. How dare you stand where he stood?
Oh yeah, you couldn't say that to him, huh?
Yeah. Look at Snape. He's limping. That's not a limp. That's my swagger.
I guess they would have to change a lot of things, huh?
Because there is a point where he has to limp a lot because he gets wounded.
Yeah, but
he's limping around.
Who knew Snape was just a pimp?
It's like a pimp stick. Yeah. It's a car powered on free-range chickens and designed by a team of hand-picked potatoes, experienced driving on mushroom and coke. Wow, that sounds pretty crazy. Shrooms and coke. Boomers be giving life advice like, Poke tip. There is only one Master Ball in Pokemon. Use it wisely. I suggest using it on a Pokemon you want to add to your team, but are hard to catch, like a Fiora or a Tentacruel. And that's it. These bullshit Pokemon. Yeah, use wasted on those.
Dude, no, the problem is Mad has to think about memes, but no, it's the ones that I don't know the context to. I've never played Portal. It made me think because I had no concept of what it fucking meant. You know why that story was bullshit about all the people arguing? Because there's not a group of men where every man there is like, oh, this is the Portal game meme.
Look, it's the M-word pass. Pass holders are legally allowed to inoffensively say the M-word. It's mudblood. Look at how you stand, people. Look at how you stand. People who had good childhoods don't stand like that. People feels like you're being a little harsh. Thanks. Good note. I was going for extremely harsh. I'll turn it up. Excuse me for having enormous flaws that I don't work on. Is this and mudblood? Hold it. Don't look upon this woman. She's not worth your time. Sexual desires is only temporary. My ancient gear golem is eternal.
See, I have no idea what the fuck that is. Anyway, I don't. Was I on that morning nonsense for this?
That's Professor Crowler. Let's see.
Who the fuck is Professor Crowler? Is he a wizard?
He's a duelist from Yu-Gi-Oh. So almost, pretty much the same thing. Let's see. The monkeys are dueling. The Slifer ain't slacking. The monster
TLDR.
card are coming to life. The elderly are de-aging. It's over, but I still have to work on Monday morning. I'm tired, bros. Tired of this world. Tired of being tangled in the tanglements of their lives. Kenan, brown eyes, frizzy hair, and very clever. White skin was never specified. Rowling loves Black Hermione. Hermione's white face was sticking out from behind. Yeah, she's specifically made white. It's because she has brown eyes and frizzy hair. Does not mean she's black. Okay. In fact, you're being racist for saying that.
Yeah, because I've seen black guys have go white.
It's like Cat Williams has very straight hair. It's the American child becomes 18. The parents, what are you doing? Get out of my house. All right, chat. So, let's stream for this. Much bad for joining me today. Thank you much, best chat, for always being best chat. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. So again, of course, next time.
Stay Gucci. Most of you, not all of you ninjas. There's a couple.
Most of you, though. Most of you.
On a cold winter morning in the time before the light, in flames of death's eternal rain, we ride towards the fight. When the darkness has